Washington Wild Things pregame show. We got a recap of last night's game, a series recap in general, a look at today's starting pitching matchup, lineups, and first pitch. It's all coming right here on the MSA Sports Network, so be sure to stay tuned for that, as we will have you covered with everything Washington Wild Things baseball for today. And we will be right back. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Washington Wild Things pregame show here on the MSA Sports Network.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. You're listening to the Washington Wild Things pregame show from Sauget, Illinois and GCS Bank Stadium as your Washington Wild Things get set to take on the Gateway Grizzlies in Game 3 of this three-game series. Last night, not a really good one for your Wild Things. They lost by the score of 10-3. And the Wild Things actually struck first in this game, as in the top of the third inning. Jamal Austin led things off with a double, and then two straight groundouts by Austin Wobrock and Brian Haar were what brought him in. Haar with the RBI ground out to third. Wobrock moved him up with a ground out to short. But the lead wasn't with Washington for that long, as the Grizzlies responded in the bottom of the third inning, as after a leadoff walk, starting pitcher Connor Kendrick had two wild pitches that moved him up to third base. A pop-out by Craig Massoni looked like it was going to get the Wild Things out of it, but Vin Giletti came through with the first of 4 RBIs on the night for him, with an RBI double tying the game at 1. This would start a streak for the Grizzlies where they scored in 4 consecutive innings. In the bottom of the fourth is when they really broke things open. They scored 4 runs. It started with a Brandon Thomas leadoff walk. Another wild pitch moved him to second by Connor Kendrick, followed by a single by Logan Davis to give the Grizzlies runners at first and third with only 1 away. Cody Livesey stepped up, hit an RBI double down the left field line, and that was followed by a 3-run homer by Craig Massoni, where he drove in all 3 of his runs on the night, and that gave Gateway a 5-1 lead. In the bottom of the 5th, Gateway would add 2 more, and a 2-run homer by Brandon Thomas, and they would cap their scoring in the bottom of the 6th when another 3-run homer hit by Vin Giletti, driving in 3 runs. He drove in 4 on the day, made the score 10-1. The Washington Wild Things tried to fight back, however, as in the bottom of the 8th, Jamal Austin led off. He had a pop-up in the infield that third baseman Craig Massoni for the Grizzlies just really couldn't handle, and it fell off the tip of his glove. He got to second on the 2-base error, and then a 2-run homer by Brian Haar, the first for the Wild Things of the season, the first for Haar of the season, brought the score back to 10-3. However, the Wild Things would not fight back any further, as they ended up losing by that final score. So yesterday, not a good offensive showing, not a good defense, not a good pitching showing, but that's why there's Game 3. It's a rubber match, all series all tied. If you can come back and win the series, that's a moral victory for the Wild Things. And in this series as a general, the offense really hasn't had that spark that they've needed. They got timely hitting in Game 1, scored just enough to win with that 4-3 victory. And we look at the current stats in this series. There are 4 players leading the team in average right now: Andrew Heck, Kyle Pollock, Dave Popkins, and Jamal Austin, all hitting .250. But that's it. The Wild Things really aren't stringing together hits like you'd like to see offensively. They're getting the hits timely, like in the first game. They had that 3-run 5th inning to jump out in front 3-0, but they're not getting hits in bunches and getting lots of opportunities. There's been limited opportunities here against the Grizzlies. If the offense wants to score more runs, they have to get better on that front and getting a bunch of hits, getting guys on base, and giving their middle of the lineup guys a chance to drive in some runs. On the pitching standpoint, we've seen a tale of 2 games. In game number 1, Trevor Foss came on the hill. He threw great for the Wild Things. 6 2/3 innings, 1 run, 1 earned, gave up 6 hits, struck out 2. He pitched great. Good start on opening day. However, last night, a totally different story. Connor Kendrick on the hill. Through the first 2 innings, he pitched pretty well. He allowed just 1 hit in the 2 innings, but he did walk 2 batters. So the Grizzlies did have people on base, but they couldn't capitalize. Then in the 3rd inning, they scored the first run of the game, and it just started snowballing from there as Grizzlies got more and more guys on base, and it led to more and more runs on the scoreboard. And once the Wild Things got down 5-1, it was really over. The Grizzlies just kept pulling away, and the Wild Things really had no chance to come back. So today you want to see if this pitching staff and the hitting can get synced into one, if we can get a bunch of hits put together and a good effort on the mound. When we come back, we're going to talk about the 2 men on the mound. It's Sasha Kubel making his Gateway Grizzly debut for the Grizzlies, and Chase Cunningham for the Washington Wild Things. You're listening to the MSA Washington Wild Things pregame show right here on the MSA Sports Network. We want to remind you this broadcast brought to you by PA Leadership Charter Schools, Pittsburgh Comics, and True Par America. Keep listening. We'll be right back here on the Washington Wild Things pregame show on the MSA Sports Network.
How does a 120-year-old company like Henderson Brothers keep up in a world that changes every minute, that keeps throwing curveballs, that flaunts new technology, that demands responsiveness? The answer is simple. With expertise. We ensure the most successful corporations in the area, and they in turn recommend us. And for that, we're grateful. Henderson Brothers. Expect an expert.
We're back here on the Washington Wild Things pregame show on the MSA Sports Network. I'm Zach Ziegler. We're live from GCS Bank Stadium as we get you ready for Game 3 of this 3-game series between your Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. Looking at today's pitching matchup, we have a pitcher making his debut for Gateway in Sasha Kubel versus Chase Cunningham, a pitcher making his Wild Things debut, both here making their first starts of 2016. We're going to start off with Chase Cunningham. Cunningham last season pitched for the Lincoln Salt Dogs, and for them he went 0-4 with a 4.91 ERA in 6 games, all starts. 40 1/3 innings pitched. He allowed 52 hits, 25 runs, 22 earned, 6 home runs allowed, 9 walks, and 15 strikeouts. So with Cunningham, you see not much of a strikeout guy with only the 15 strikeouts registered in the 40 1/3 innings pitched. So he's a guy who likes to pitch to contact, if he can keep the ball on the ground and rely on his Wild Things defense, he will be fine on the mound today. For the Wild Things defensively, they have to cut down on the errors. They made errors in both of the first 2 games. If they can play solid defense, get to the ball, corral it when needed, and get the shore outs and get outs that they can make, they will be a successful team. And opposing him, a local guy here in St. Louis, Missouri, Sasha Kubel, making his Gateway debut. He was in the St. Louis Cardinals organization for the 2014-15 and even part of this 16 season, pitching in the low A level. This year, in the single A league, he pitched in the full season, pitched for the Peoria Chiefs. He appeared in 7 games, no starts, with a 3.97 ERA, gave up 8 runs, 5 earned, in 11 1/3 innings pitched. However, last season he played again in the Cardinals organization for those Peoria Chiefs, and he also played for the Johnson City Cardinals, where he got a combined record of 4-3 with a 3.13 ERA in 25 games, no starts, 37 1/3 innings pitched. He walked 7 batters and struck out 43. So with Cunningham, you get a guy who's not really a strikeout guy, but with Kubel, you see a guy who likes to get a lot of strikeouts. As you see in the 25 innings, he had 43 strikeouts. So again, the Wild Things are going to have to avoid getting deep into counts and facing these strikeouts. The one thing I noticed with Sasha Kubel is in minor league baseball, he only had 2 career starts. So coming into this game, he's on the bump today to start for the Frontier League, and we'll see how he handles it today. We're about to go to National Anthem here at GCS Stadium, so we're going to go to a commercial break. You're listening to the Washington Wild Things pregame show, and we'd like to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by Undo's, State Line Restaurant and Hotspot, and People's Natural Gas. We'll be right back here on the Washington Wild Things pregame show on the MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to Pucks.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School, lead, don't follow.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get to sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
How does a 120-year-old company like Henderson Brothers keep up in a world that changes every minute, that keeps throwing curveballs, that flaunts new technology, that demands responsiveness? The answer is simple. With expertise. We insure the most successful corporations in the area, and they in turn recommend us. And for that, we're grateful. Henderson Brothers. Expect an expert.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to PALCS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School, lead, don't follow.
We are back here on the Washington Wild Things pregame show here on the MSA Sports Network, your home for Washington Wild Things baseball all season long during the 2016 season. I'm Zach Ziegler. I'll lead you through the 2016 season. National anthem just finishing as the players are on the field here, and they are getting ready to warm up. And while they get ready, we're going to get you ready for this contest with lineups. First, for the visiting Washington Wild Things, enter this game with a 1-1 record. They'll lead off with their center fielder, Jamal Austin. Batting second at shortstop, Austin Wobrock. Batting third, playing at third base, will be Brian Haar. The cleanup man, Jimmy Yezzo at first base, hits fourth. Dave Popkins in the 5-hole. He plays in right. Andrew Heck bats sixth. He's in left field. Grant Fink, the designated hitter, bats seventh. Eddie Sarando bats eighth and is behind the plate. And John Zizniewski gets the start at second base. He will bat ninth. For the Gateway Grizzlies, they also entered this game with a record of 1-1. They lead off with their left fielder, Cody Livesey. Seth Heck bats second and plays at second base. Craig Massoni will hit third. He's at third base today. Vin Giletti, the designated hitter, hits fourth. Blake Brown in the 5-hole. He's playing in right. Ben Waldrop hits sixth and plays first base. Brandon Thomas in the 7-hole. He's out in center field. Tyler Toole bats eighth, and he'll catch. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Logan Davis. And as the teams are warming up, as we said, on the mound for the Gateway Grizzlies, Sasha Kubel. He will start. He pitched in the St. Louis Cardinals minor league system for the beginning of this season and last season as well. This season, he had .397 ERA in 7 games, 11 1/3 innings pitched, 12 hits, 8 runs, 5 earned. He did allow 2 home runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts in those 11 1/3 innings pitched. However, you look at the 2015 numbers for him, pitching for both the Peoria Chiefs and the Johnson City Cardinals, low A in the St. Louis Cardinals system. He was 4-3 with a .313 ERA, appearing in 25 games, 37 1/3 innings pitched, 43 strikeouts, 42 hits allowed, 17 runs, 13 earned. So when you look at Kubel, the high strikeout numbers, 43 strikeouts and 37 in the third innings. That's something the Wild Things are going to have to watch offensively today. And we are ready to get baseball underway here as Jamal Austin steps in to lead things off in the top of the first. Here from GCS Bank Stadium, I'm Zach Ziegler, leading you through this game here. Series tied at 1 as the Wild Things took the first game of the series by a score of 4-3, and the Gateway Grizzlies won last night by a score of 10-3. So Wild Things look to win this series. Jamal Austin, as he steps in last night, he went 1 for 3 with a double, reached on an error, and scored 2 runs. So Austin will look to get things going as we're waiting for some fans to get off the field. We're going to look at the defensive alignment for the Gateway Grizzlies. Outfield left to right, Livesey, Thomas, and Brown. Left side of the infield manned by Masoni and Davis. On the right side, it's Heck and Waldrip. And behind the plate for the third game in a row is Tyler Toole. Nice sunny day here at GCS Bank Stadium. Only a few clouds in the sky. Wild Things wearing their red jerseys with the gray bottoms. The Grizzlies in a camo jersey with the white pants. And the first pitch of the game is a called strike to Jamal Austin. No balls and a strike. First pitch thrown at 4:08 Eastern. And the temperature outside, 65 degrees. First pitch time and temperature is brought to you by State Line Grocery and Hotspot. As the 0-1 from Kubel. And it's low, ball 1, 1 ball, 1 strike. And we were talking about in the pregame show for the Wild Things, in these first 2 games, they really haven't been able to string a lot of hits together like you want offensively. They've been getting the timely hit, but they haven't been able to do it on a consistent basis as Austin fouls this one off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And today, they have to be able to get a lot of hits and create opportunities for the guys in the middle of the order. Now we see Jamal Austin. He fouled that one off his ankle, as he is down, shaken up a little bit. Trainer Jess out there on the field checking on him as he limps around. And while we wait, we're going to go one more time through the lineup for the Wild Things, just in case you missed it. It's Jamal Austin, Austin Wobrock, Brian Haar, Jimmy Yezzo, Dave Popkins, Andrew Heck, Grant Fink, Eddie Sarando, and John Zizniewski. And Austin looks to be okay as he'll step back in there. Count 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Wild Things center fielder. In this series, Austin 2 for 8. Kubel, the left-hander, 1-2. Here's the pitch. And this ball fouled off back into the stands on the right side, so the count will remain 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here in the top of the first, just getting underway. So Sasha Kubel, he's set. And the 1-2 coming as he has his sign from Toole. This one grounded on the left field line. Fair ball. So Jamal Austin starts the game with a hit. He's taking the turn for first, heading to second. Here comes the throw, and Austin is safe. He's in there with a leadoff double to start things off for your Wild Things with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. After fouling the ball off of his ankle in the beginning of the bat, he recovers, gets the ball down the left field line fair, and gets the Wild Things an opportunity with runners in scoring position. We'll see if they can capitalize. Austin Wobrock will step in now, the shortstop hitting second today. Last night 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Lefty on lefty as Wobrock, left-handed batter, Kubel, the left-handed pitcher. Kubel checks Austin at second, and the pitch. Chopped, foul, right behind home plate. No balls and a strike. So Jamal Austin got things started here with the leadoff double to give the Wild Things a runner in scoring position, see if they can capitalize. They got the timely hits in game 1, and last night they had a couple opportunities and couldn't capitalize on any of them. Only getting the 2-run homer from Brian Haar. Kubel set. Here's the pitch. Wobrock swings and misses. No ball, 2 strikes. So Kubel up 2 strikes on Wobrock. Kubel has his sign. He's set. And checks Austin at second. Kicks in the 0-2. And that's a called strike 3 as Wobrock strikes out. And 1 out, and the Wild Things have a runner at second, and that'll bring up Brian Haar. Haar last night 1 for 2, providing the only offense, a 2-run homer back in inning number 8 of that game, as the Wild Things tried to fight back, but were unsuccessful. So righty on lefty, 1 out, runner at second. No score between the Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies here in the top of the first from GCS Bank Stadium. Kubel set, and the southpaw kicks and deals. This one's high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Har. The umpires today, Tom Swoboda behind the plate, and in the field will be Mike Fitcher. Switching from last night, Fitcher was behind the plate. Kubel checks Austin at second, the 1-0. That's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brian Har. Har's home run last night, the first home run for the Wild Things in this 2016 season. And last year, playing in the Minnesota Twins single-A organization, he only hit 1 home run all season. So nice to see him get a power stroke start to 2016. Here's the 1-1. That's way outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on Har. So Austin started this inning off with an RBI double down the left field, or with a double down the left field line, excuse me. Austin Wobrock struck out, and now Brian Har, the batter. Kubel set. And checks Austin at second, the 2-1. It's outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. In this series is a total for Brian Har. He is hitting 125. He's hitting 125 in the series. Austin at second. Here's the pitch. And that's a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count. Har 1 for 8 in the series, with that home run yesterday being his only hit. Kubel looking into tool for his sign. He has it. He's set. And the 3-2 on the way. And this one lined into center field. Over is Thomas, and he makes the catch. Austin trying to tag, and he will get back to second. So 2 away and a runner on second for the Wild Things. Brings up the first baseman, Jimmy Yezzo. Har gave that one a ride to center field. Thomas had to run to his right to try and make that catch. He's able to get over there, and it keeps the Wild Things off the board. As that would have fallen, that would have easily scored Jamal Austin. So Jimmy Yezzo, the cleanup hitter, he was a designated hitter last night, went 0 for 4. Kubel has his sign. He's set in the first pitch. And way inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Yezzo, as that one off the plate in on his hands. Kubel set. And the 1-0 coming. And this ball is on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yezzo 1 for 8 in this series. Got that hit back in game 1. And the Wild Things 4-3 victory on opening day. Kubel set, and the 1-1 coming. As he checks Austin at second, here's the pitch. And this one lined into left field. Livesey coming in, it'll carry out to him, and he will make the catch. That's out number 3. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left on. And after half an inning, the score, your Washington Wild Things 0, Gateway Grizzlies coming to bat. You're listening to Washington Wild Things baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to PALCS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School. Lead, don't follow.
We are back here on the MSA Sports Network's coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball this 2016 Frontier League season. As we're going to the bottom of the first, no score between the Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. And As we get set, we're going to look at the defensive alignment for the Wild Things. Outfield left to right, Heck, Austin, and Popkins. Left side of the infield be manned by Haar and Wobrock. On the right side, it'll be Zizniewski and Yezo. And behind the plate is Eddie Sorondo. On the mound today, starting his first game of 2016, is Chase Cunningham. And last season, Cunningham pitched for the Lincoln Salt Dogs and went 0-4 with a .491 ERA. 6 games, all 6 starts, 40 and a third innings pitched, 52 hits, 25 runs, 22 of those earned, 9 walks, and 15 strikeouts. And for Cunningham, we see there only the 15 strikeouts and 40 and a third innings pitched. He's not a guy who's going to blow the ball by you. He likes to pitch to contact, so he'll have to rely on his Wild Things defense. And today, if he can keep the ball low in the zone, get a lot of ground balls, he should be good today. For the Wild Things defensively, they have to limit the errors. They committed 2 errors in game 1, 1 error last night. They have to clean that up defensively so that when these balls are put in play, the outs can be recorded. Now for the Gateway Grizzlies, we'll go over their lineup one more time before they come up to bat. Cody Livesey leads off in left field. Seth Heck bats second at second base. Craig Masoni, the third hitter at third base. Vin Giletti in the cleanup hole. He's the designated hitter. Blake Brown bats fifth in right field. Ben Waldrop, the sixth hitter, plays first base. Brandon Thomas bats seventh in center field. Tyler Toole behind the plate, catching and batting eighth. And Logan Davis bats ninth. He is the shortstop this afternoon as Cody Livesey steps in, and we are ready for action here in the bottom of the first. No score between the Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. Livesey last night, 2 for 5, 3 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch from Cunningham. Swing and a miss, no balls and a strike. 0-1 the count on the Grizzlies left fielder. Livesey in this series doing very good offensively, hitting .444, 4 for 9. Here's the 0-1. This one's fouled back, no balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count on Livesey, and Livesey again really squaring up the ball in this series, finding gaps, getting on base. He had his first double of the year last night, along with 3 singles. As here's the 0-2. This one lined in the left field, and Heck coming on. He dives and makes a sensational catch. 1 away here in the bottom of the first. Andrew Heck coming on quickly, diving and making that catch. What a play, Andrew Heck, and that'll bring up Seth Heck, the second baseman for the Grizzlies. No relation to Andrew, but Andrew coming on quickly, leaving his feet and making that catch a couple inches above the ground. A nice play there by Andrew Heck. For Seth Heck, Heck last night, 1 for 2 with 3 walks and 2 runs scored. Cunningham setting the pitch. And that's a strike, no balls, and a strike. And we talked about in the pregame show, the Wild Things defense is going to have to be good today because Cunningham likes to pitch to contact and the ball is put in play a lot, so they have to be able to get to it and make outs. Cunningham set the 0-1 coming. Swung and grounded to Haar at third. He has it, he'll throw on to first, and that's out number 2. So quickly 2 away, as that's a 2-pitch out for Chase Cunningham, and that'll bring up Craig Masoni, the third baseman. So Masoni coming up now. Last night, drove in 3 runs last night, 2 for 5, with a home run and a single and 2 runs scored. So Masoni steps in. Masoni, another guy having a great series, hitting .333, 3 out of 9. Cunningham set in the first pitch. Low and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to the Grizzlies' third baseman. Cunningham, the right-hander, versus the right-hander Masoni. Cunningham kicks and deals. This ball's popped up. Zizniewski going under it, and he will make the catch, and that's out number 3. So 1-2-3 go the Gateway Grizzlies, and after an inning of play, your score, Washington nothing, Gateway nothing. We'll be right back. You're listening to Washington Wild Things Baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get a sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We are back here in the top of the second inning, getting ready to kick things off. No score between the Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. Due up this half inning for the Wild Things, Dave Popkins, Andrew Heck, and Grant Fink, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. In the first inning, Jamal Austin led things off with a double, got to second base, but then Austin Wilbrock struck out. Brian Harr flew out to center, and Jimmy Yezzo flew out to left to strand him there. So they'll try things again here in the second. As we said in the pregame show, we want to see the Wild Things get hits in bunches. They haven't been doing that in this series. That's something they need to work on, and they can accomplish today, hopefully, to secure a possible victory. But Sasha Kubel in that first inning went to a full count to Brian Harr. Other than that, working pretty effectively. A 4-pitch at-bat to Austin, a 3-pitch to Wobrock, and a 3-pitch at-bat to Jimmy Yezzo. So besides that full count, Kubel's been pretty efficient on the mound. See if he can continue that today. For Dave Popkins, he'll be up next. Popkins in last night's game ended up going 0 for 4, He did reach base once on an error by left fielder Cody Livesey as he was charging in and not able to make a catch that looked pretty routine, so Popkins got the second on that. The only time he reached base, and Popkins, as we said, trying to get things going. The switch hitter batting right against the left-hander Kubel. No score here as we begin the top of the second between your Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. Kubel looks into Tool for his sign. He has it. He's set, kicks and deals. And that's a strike. No balls and a strike right on the outside corner. One thing we've seen for all of these Gateway Grizzlies pitchers is that they've been trying to work the corners yesterday, and they've been effective for the most part. And it has caused these Wild Things to be off balance offensively as that one's a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, bounced up to the plate. Kubel has his sign from Tool. He's set. And the pitch coming. This one grounded to third. Masoni has it over there. He'll throw on to first, and that's out number 1. So quickly one away here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the left fielder, Andrew Heck. Heck has appeared in both games in this 2016 season. He was a defensive replacement in the game on Friday night, and he started in left field last night. Went 1 for 4 with a single and a stolen base. Heck last season for the Wild Things, a .299 hitter. Kubel set in the first pitch. That's low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Heck, one of the returners to this Washington Wild Things team this season. Kubel set in the 1-0 coming. This one grounded to third again. Masoni has it. And again, he'll throw on to Waldrip at first, and that's out number 2. Another 5-3 put out as they've been playing catch over there at third base this inning, as that'll bring up Grant Fink, the designated hitter. Fink made a pinch hitting appearance in last night's game and went 0 for 1. In the series as a total, Fink is batting. He has no average. He is 0 for 5 in the series. He pinch hit for Eddie Sorondo last night. Here's the pitch, and it's a called strike. No balls and a strike. Grant Fink played in the Cleveland Indians organization last year. Hit 198, 2 homers, and 19 RBIs. Kubel set in the pitch. And low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 in the count to the Wild Things designated hitter. Fink on opening day started in left field for the Grizzlies. Kubel set in the 1-1. This one grounded that left side out of the reach of a diving Masoni, and that'll be a 2-out single. Grant Fink's first hit of the year gets a Wild Things a 2-out base runner, and that'll bring up John Zizniewski. Zizniewski got the night off last night. In the first game of the series, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. Last night it was Justin Fox behind second base. Fox ended up going 0 for 3. So Fink takes his lead off first. Kubel checks him over there, and the pitch coming. And that's a called strike. No balls and a strike on the catcher, Eddie Sarando. Sarando last night went 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a strikeout. In his second year with the Wild Things, played minimal action last year, only in 4 games. Kubel set in the 0-1. This is a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes on the Wild Things catcher. Sarando got thrusted into action yesterday as he was a late add to the lineup as Kyle Pollock initially was starting behind the plate, but an injury to Pollock forced him to be pulled from the lineup, and Eddie Sarando got the start last night. So this is his second game of the 2016 season. Kubel set in the 0-2. Way inside near Sarando's feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No score here in top of the second. Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies here at GCS Bank Stadium. Here in Sauget, Illinois. Game 3 of this 3-game series between your Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. Kubel set. Checks Fink at first. The 1-2 coming. This one grounded foul off to the right. Count remains 1-2. After this game, the Wild Things will travel to Joliet, Illinois to take on the Joliet Slammers. An off day tomorrow. And a 3-game series starting on Tuesday. Kubel looks in the tool. He has his sign. He's set. And the 1-2 on the way. There goes Fink for second. Sarando swing and a miss, and that is out number 3. So no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left for the Wild Things. And after 1.5, your score, Wild Things nothing, Grizzlies nothing. You're listening to Washington Wild Things baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get a sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. Bottom of the second, no score between the Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. And last inning, Chase Cunningham, a very efficient inning, a four-pitch at-bat to the leadoff man, Cody Livesey, who flew out to left field. And it was that play was an amazing diving catch by Andrew Heck, running in, leaping, and making the catch a couple inches above the ground. Then Seth Heck grounded out to third base, and Craig Massoni popped out to second on 2 pitches each. So very efficient inning for Chase Cunningham in the first. He'll look to continue that here in the second as he'll face the 4, 5, and 6 guys, Vin Gilletti, Blake Brown, and Ben Waldrip. And Gilletti, the guy who was the offensive star of the night last night for the Grizzlies. In last night's contest, Gilletti drove in 4 runs, an RBI double in the 3rd inning, a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. He also struck out, walked, and scored a run. So Gilletti, one of the feared men in this Gateway Grizzly lineup. So far for Kendrick, been doing a nice job in the first inning, putting the ball where he wants it to. See if he continues that here as the warm-up tosses are finishing up for Kendrick. Hey fans, you know you can receive $100 when you open a new checking account with Clearview Federal Credit Union? Visit them at clearviewfcu.org for details. As we get ready to start the bottom of the second here, taking a look around the Frontier League, currently a lot of teams sitting at 1-1. In the Eastern Division standings, you have the Lake Erie Crushers sit on top of the division with a record of 2-0. Then the Windy City Thunderbolts sit at 2-1 in second place. Then it's the Wild Things, Slammers, Traverse City Beach Bums, and the Schaumburg Boomers all at 1-1. Cunningham set the first pitch to Gilletti. And this ball's low and inside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to the Grizzlies' designated hitter. In the West Division, we have Florence Freedom, Gateway Grizzlies, Southern Illinois Miners, and the Evansville Otters all at 1-1. The Normal Corn Belters sit at 0-1, and the River City Rascals at 0-2. As that ball's low, 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count to Gilletti. And Vin Gilletti hitting .333 in this series, 3 for 9. Is the 2-0, it's inside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. That one almost hit Gilletti. Galletti, the left-hander, facing the right-hander, Chase Cunningham. Galletti shot last night over the left field wall with that wind blowing in. The 3-0. This one, line to right field. Popkins going back, he leaps, and he can't make the catch as the ball's off the top of the wall. Galletti around first, heading to second, and he will get in there with a leadoff double, and the Grizzlies have a runner in scoring position now with nobody out. And Popkins initially didn't read that ball that well as he stood there. Thought it was coming right to him and had a little more carry on it than he thought, and it hit off the top of the wall on that short porch in right field. And that'll bring up Blake Brown, the right fielder. Brown last night was 0 for 2 with 3 walks and a run scored. Brown, the power guy in this Gateway lineup, had 22 home runs a season ago. Righty on righty, Cunningham setting the pitch. And that's a called strike, no balls and a strike. Blake Brown in this series does not have a hit yet. He's 0 for 6 with the 3 walks. He also struck out twice in this series. Cunningham set, checks Galletti at second. Here's the pitch. And it's low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to the Gateway right fielder. Had a 4:05 Eastern first pitch this afternoon between the Gateway Grizzlies and your Washington Wild Things. Game 3 of a 3-game series. Cunningham setting the 1-1. This one fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. With that leadoff man in scoring position, it'd be big if Cunningham could get the strikeout here of Blake Brown. Brown struck out twice in this series already. Once in each of the 2 games. Cunningham looks into Serrano for his sign. He has it, he's set. And the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. Zizniewski handles it over there. He'll throw on to first. That's out number 1. Meanwhile, Galletti moves up to third on the play, giving the Grizzlies a runner at third and 1 out. So productive out there by Blake Brown, and it brings up the first baseman, Ben Waldrop. Waldrop last night 0 for 5 with a strikeout. So one of the few people not to join the hit parade for the Gateway Grizzlies last night. They currently have a runner at third here. 1 out in the bottom of the second. No score between the Wild Things and the Grizzlies. Cunningham set. Pitch coming. High ball 1. That's Serrano able to jump out of the crouch to grab it. 1 ball, no strikes the count. As Waldrop steps back in. Cunningham set, and the 1-0 coming. And that's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count on the Grizzlies' first baseman. In this series, Waldrop hitting 111. He's 1 out of 9. Looking to get off the schneid offensively. The Wild Things infield about halfway there between the base paths. Here's the 1-1. This one lined down the left field line. This will get foul back near the kid zone here at Grizzlies Stadium. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count, and Cunningham again in a big situation. Runner at third, 1 out. You'd rather not have the ball in play with the infield in. A strikeout would be ideal. Cunningham looking to Serrano for his sign. He has it. Checks the runner at third. Here's the 1-2. Low ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we said in the beginning, Cunningham not really a strikeout guy. 15 strikeouts in 40 and a third innings pitched for him last season. But a strikeout here would be big. The infield about halfway in between the base paths. The 2-2. And a fly ball to right field. Popkins goes back. He'll camp under it. And he will make the catch on the warning track. It will be deep enough for the run to score, however. And the Gateway Grizzlies take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second. Nice catch there by Popkins as he had to go back on it. Leaped up and made the catch just on that warning track in front of that short porch. If he hadn't, it had a chance of going over. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Brandon Thomas, with the Gateway Grizzlies now leading 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. Thomas last night, 1 for 3 with a home run, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Cunningham has his sign. He's set. Here's the pitch. This one grounded to first. Yezzo bobbles it, regains control, and is not going to get it to the pitcher in time. As the throw goes to the mound, nice backup by Eddie Sarando. So it's going to be an error on Jimmy Yezzo, and it gives the Grizzlies a 2-out base runner. Now the Wild Things have committed errors in all 3 games this season. We talked about in the pregame show, the defense has to be sharp if they want a chance to win tonight with Cunningham. Not really a strikeout pitcher as we've seen. The ball is in play a lot when he's pitching. The defense has to be ready. It brings up Tyler Toole, the catcher. Throw over to first, and Thomas is back. Thomas does have a stolen base in this series. Stole one in the opener. Cunningham checks him at first. He's set. And the pitch coming. This one grounded, fouled on the right. So no balls and a strike to catcher Toole. Toole having a good offensive series, hitting .286, 2 for 7 in the series with a strikeout and a strikeout. Cunningham set. Checks Thomas at first. There goes Thomas. The 0-1 swung on a miss. Sarando's throw down is not going to be in time. That's the second stolen base of the series for Thomas, his second of the year, and it gives the Grizzlies a runner in scoring position now with 2 away. It looked like Sarando had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove on that play as he kind of double clutched, and that allowed Thomas to get in there. Cunningham has a sign from Sarando. Checks Thomas at second. Here's the pitch. And this ball hit to right field. Popkins is under it, and he will make the catch, and that is out number 3. The Grizzlies get a run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. And after 2 innings of play, the score, Gateway Grizzlies 1, Washington Wild Things nothing. You're listening to MSA Sports Network. We have coverage of Wild Things baseball all season long, and stay tuned. We'll be right back here on the MSA Sports Network.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get a sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We are back here on the MSA Sports Network as we go to the top of the third. The score, Gateway Grizzlies 1, your Washington Wild Things nothing. And the last inning for the Wild Things started off promising. Or no, 2 ground outs started off last inning, and a 2-out single by Grant Fink, and he was eliminated after the Eddie Sarando strikeout. Due up for the Wild Things 9-1 and 2 in this inning. John Zizniewski, Jamal Austin, and Austin Wobrock. And last inning for the Gateway Grizzlies, they got their run after a leadoff double by Vin Giletti. A ground out moved him to third base, and a sacrifice fly to right field by Ben Waldrip drove him in. So that's how we got to our score, 1-0 here. And John Zizniewski comes up now. Zizniewski did not play in last night's game, but in the first game of this series, Zizniewski went 0 for 2. He did walk once. So Zizniewski getting the start at second base. Today, Justin Fox started there yesterday. Fox was 0 for 3 in yesterday's contest. Fox struck out twice. So Zizniewski back in there, the righty versus the lefty Kubel. And Kubel so far allowed 2 hits in 2 innings of work. The leadoff double to Jamal Austin and the 2-out single to Grant Fink, and that's all. He has 2 strikeouts right now. I have Eddie Sarando and Austin Wobrock. Is Zizniewski ready to step in now to the plate? Be sure to join us for the Wild Things home opener on Friday, May 20th, presented by 5 Generations Bakers. Less than a week away. This coming Friday, the Wild Things will be back at Consol Energy Park. As Kubel will look in. And he has his sign. Here comes the pitch to Zizniewski. And that's a called strike. No balls, 1 strike. The count to the Wild Things second baseman. This is Newski last year in the Chicago White Sox single-A organization at 273. This ball's low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0 Gateway Grizzlies lead here in the top of the third. From GCS Bank Stadium in Sauget, Illinois, I'm Zach Ziegler. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network. Kubel set in the 1-1. And that's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. During his time with the White Sox single-A, hit 273, 2 homers, 29 RBIs. Hit 12 doubles and 2 triples. Kubel set in the 2-1. Checks his swing, and it's low, ball 3. So 3 balls and a strike. We'll see if the Wild Things can get the leadoff man on for the second time in this game. They got the leadoff man on back in the first when Jamal Austin doubled to start the game. Here's Kubel's pitch. Wisniewski lines this foul sharply down the right field lines. The count goes full 3-2 by first base coach Mike Mitchell over there. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. 1-0 Grizzlies lead. As Kubel looks in the tool for his sign. He's set in the 3-2. This one lined again foul near the Grizzlies bullpens. The count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fans over there getting a couple souvenirs from the Grizzlies bullpen, courtesy of John Wisniewski. Wisniewski in the series, we said 0 for 2 with a walk. Kubel set, and the 3-2 coming. And that's outside, ball 4. So the Wild Things will have a leadoff base runner for the second time in this game as Wisniewski walks to lead off the third, and that'll bring up Jamal Austin. Austin led off the game with a double down the left field line. He's 1 for 1. In that first at bat, Austin fouled one off his ankle, hobbling around for a little bit, but he looked just fine when he hit that double. Kubel, the left-hander, checks Wisniewski at first, the pitch. Jamal squares to bunt, and this one's outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Austin, a speedster for these Wild Things, 9 stolen bases last season. Wisniewski over there at first. Wisniewski last year, he can run too. He has 10 stolen bases last year. A 1-0 way outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. As Kubel struggling to find the plate here in the top of the third. 1-0 Gateway lead. The Wild Things have a runner at first here with nobody out. Kubel set. Checks Wisniewski at first. And the 2-0. And this one grounded to second. Heck to Davis over to first. And just in time to get Jamal Austin the 4-6-3 double play. And now there are 2 outs. And that brings up the shortstop, Austin Wobrock. Austin hustling down that line. The throw just did beat him to first base. Wobrock 0 for 1 today. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Last night 0 for 4. That ball just hit sharply enough for Austin to ground into the double play. Kubel looks in the tool. He has his sign. He's setting the first pitch to Wobrock. And that's a strike. No balls and a strike. 0-1, 2 outs. Gateway leads 1-0 here in the top of the third. Kubel setting the 0-1. Swung on a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. Wobrock in this series 0 for 5. 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Looking for his first hit of the 2016 season. Kubel setting the 0-2. And that's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes just off the outside corner. 1-2. Brian Harr on deck at his first home run of the season last night. Wind kind of blowing out the center field here at GCS Bank Stadium. Kubel setting the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Wobrock strikes out for the second time in this game. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left for the Wild Things. And after 2.5, the score, Gateway Grizzlies 1, your Washington Wild Things nothing. You're listening to Washington Wild Things baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. POGS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. POGS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to POGS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School. Lead, don't follow.
We're back here entering the bottom of the third here between the Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. The score, Gateway leads 1-0. They got their run last inning after Vin Giletti started things off with a double. A ground out by Blake Brown moved him up to third, and a sacrifice fly by Ben Waldrip drove him in for the first run of the game. So Kendrick, other than that, so far pretty good. A very efficient 1-2-3 first inning. And due up this inning for the Grizzlies, the shortstop Logan Davis, the left fielder Cody Livesey, and the second baseman Seth Heck, as Kendrick looking to keep the score right where it is here in the third. Going through his warm-up tosses. And hey fans, every Thursday night game during the 2016 season is Thirst Thursday at Consol Energy Park, and it's all being brought to you by Frankie Eyes Bar and Grill, located by the Meadows Casino on Route 19. Join them to enjoy food and drink specials after the game, and don't forget, Thursday's feature is Buck Beverages, both beer and soda. So be sure to come out to Wild Things home games this year on the Thirsty Thursdays and every day that the Wild Things are home at Consol Energy Park. We're getting ready to start the bottom of the third. Gateway leads this one 1-0, as Logan Davis will step in to start things off for the Grizzlies. Last night, Davis ended up going 1 for 3, with a single and a run scored. So Davis, the shortstop, part of that 4-6-3 double play last inning that canceled out the leadoff base runner for the Wild Things. Cunningham looked into Serrano, doesn't like the signs he's seeing, so he'll step off. 1-0 score. Gateway leads bottom of the third. Here's the first pitch. And this one fouled off back behind the seats. No balls and a strike. 0-1 to Logan Davis. Cunningham set. Here's the 0-1. Way inside, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike the count here on the Grizzlies shortstop. Davis in this series, 3 for 7, hitting .429 with 1 RBI. 3 hits and 7 at-bats. Cunningham set the 1-1. And that's inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Davis, the shortstop. Cunningham pitching pretty well today on the mound, just allowed that 1 run back in the second inning. He's setting the 2-1. This one lined sharply over Yezzo's glove and into the right field corner. Davis around first. He's heading to second. Popkins recovers and gets the ball in quickly to hold him there at a double. So a leadoff double gives the Grizzlies another runner in scoring position here with nobody out, and it'll bring up the left fielder Cody Livesey. Livesey 0 for 1, robbed of a base hit back in the first inning on a great diving catch by left fielder Andrew Heck. He came on, had to run at least 3 feet, jump off his feet, and catch the ball just above the ground, robbing Livesey of a hit. Grizzlies lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the third, with Davis the runner at second after the leadoff double. Cunningham set, checks Davis at second. Here's the pitch. And that's a called strike. No balls and a strike. 0-1 the count on Livesey. Livesey in this series, as we said, now 4 for 10, hitting .400 after that first at-bat. Cunningham set and the 0-1 coming. That's low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. And after that really efficient start in the first inning that we saw from Cunningham, he's had to log some pitches here late. Went to a 3-ball count on Vin Giletti before the double. Went to a 2-1 count on Blake Brown, a 2-2 count on Waldrop, and now a 2-1 count here as the, or 1-1 count here as this ball is outside. Now it's a 2-1 count on on Cody Livesey, excuse me. 2 balls, 1 strike. Gateway leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the third. Davis, the runner at second. Cunningham set. Checks second. And the 2-1. This one grounded to second. And it's over Wisniewski's glove into right field, a base hit. And that'll give the Grizzlies runners at first and third now with nobody out. And a single for Livesey there as they don't score it in error. Gives Grizzlies runners at first and third for Seth Heck. Heck grounded out his first time. Heck 1 hit and 7 at-bats this series. Last night, Heck 1 for 2, excuse me, with 3 walks. Cunningham checks the runner at first. He's set. Pitch coming. Runner faked to second. It's called a strike. No balls and a strike. Livesey started taking off for second, then put on the brakes and goes back to first base. 1-0 score. Gateway leads. They have runners at first and third here with nobody out. Throw over to first, and Livesey gets back in time. For the Wild Things, you don't want to see what happened last night happen again. Things started to snowball it was the 5th inning of that game, as Cunningham tries to limit damage here. Cunningham checks Livesey at first, the 0-1. Way inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball around the legs of Seth Heck. Cunningham looking to keep these runners right where they are. Cunningham checks Livesey at first. He's set. Throw over. And Livesey just does get back in there. A nice move by Cunningham. Clear skies here over GCS Bank Stadium. Only a few clouds. A lot of fans out in the ballpark. In that little picnic area behind the right field wall, it's almost covered with people. As another throw over to first, and Livesey back again. The 3rd throw over there. Livesey, no stolen bases in this series. Cunningham set, and the 1-1. And a ball, 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 the count on Heck. As Gateway has runners at first and third here. 2 balls and a strike. Gateway leads 1-0. In the bottom of the third, Cunningham looking into Sarando. He's set, and the 2-1 coming. Grounded, fouled on the left field line. Count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runners at first and third. And Cunningham again, if he can get a strikeout, that would be big here. The infield at double play depth with that runner at first base, with Yezo holding him on. Cunningham set, the 2-2. This one fouled off back to the screen. Count remains 2-2. And for Cunningham, you have runners at first and third. You don't really need to worry about that runner at first. Just focus on the guy at the plate. Try to get the first out of the inning. Cunningham set. The 2-2. Runner takes off. The ball bounces away from Saranda. It'll stay in front of the plate, though. Count goes full. Runner from first moves up to second. So now it's runners at second and third here with nobody out. 3 balls, 2 strikes to count. Good job by Saranda to keep that ball in front of him and not allow Davis to move up. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Infield comes in now after Livesey moved up to second. Cunningham set, the 3-2. Ground ball to third. Har has it. The throw to the plate, and it will be in time to get the runner there. And that is a big out number 1. As Davis is cut out at the plate. Livesey stays at second now, so will be first and second on the fielder's choice for Seth Heck. And now with 1 out, that'll bring up Craig Masoni. Masoni 0 for 1. And with Livesey at second, I'm kind of surprised he didn't move up to third on that play. He was at second and third, a ground ball to third base. They knew they were going home. I'm kind of surprised Livesey's not standing on third base. But it's a break for the Wild Things. Livesey stays at second. First and second, Grizzlies lead 1-0. Cunningham set. Checks Livesey at second, the pitch. And Masoni grounds to second. Zizniewski to Wobrock over to first, and that is a big double play, 4-6-3, to keep the Grizzlies off the board. So no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. And after 3, the score. Gateway Grizzlies 1, your Washington Wild Things nothing. Keep it tuned right here to MSA Sports Network for more Washington Wild Things baseball coverage right after this.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
We're back here in the top of inning number 4. A big break for the Washington Wild Things last inning as the Gateway Grizzlies had runners at first and third with nobody out. Chase Cunningham got Seth Heck to ground out sharply to third base. Brian Hart at third base went home with the play to get the out, but Cody Livesey, who was standing at second base after a wild pitch, did not move up. So it had runners at first and second with 1 out, and then the double play ball by Craig Masoni ended the inning. So a nice job by Chase Cunningham of limiting the damage. Due up for the Wild Things here in the 4th, we have Brian Haar, Jimmy Yezzo, and Dave Popkins. 3-4-5 trying to get something started for your Washington Wild Things. And when the Wild Things return home, the home opener Friday, May 20th, every Friday night, it's a fireworks night at Consol Energy Park. So we'll get to see some fireworks on opening day. Enjoy a spectacular fireworks display after all Friday night Wild Things home games this season. Also, another promotion on Saturday, May 21st, the following day, the first 1,000 fans to the park will receive a t-shirt courtesy of Mylan Lobs. Gates will open at 6 p.m., so be sure to get there early. There's a lot of great events coming up here at the Washington Wild Things Stadium for opening weekend. That will be against the Lake Erie Crushers on Friday. After this game, the team goes over to Joliet, Illinois to take on the Joliet Slammers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they're back home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Lake Erie Crushers. So stepping in now, Brian Haar, his first home run of the season last night, 0 for 1 today. Kubel setting the pitch. Swing and a miss, no balls and a strike. Grizzlies lead 1-0 here in the top of the 4th. No runs, 2 hits for the Wild Things. 1 run, 3 hits for the Grizzlies. Kubel setting the 0-1 coming. And this one, driven to left center field. Going back, and it will exit stage left. The second home run of the year for Brian Haar. And this game is now tied at 1. Haar is homered in back-to-back games, and your Wild Things tied at 1 here in the top of the 4th. As Brian Haar saw that pitch right down the middle of the plate, could have put a good swing on it and got it over that left center field wall to tie this game at 1. Haar only hit 1 home run last season in the Minnesota Twins single-A organization and now has 2 here for the Washington Wild Things. The first pitch to Jimmy Yezzo is a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Game tied at 1. Kubel setting the 0-1. This one shot foul. No balls, 2 strikes. For Brian Haar, hitting 200 in this series coming in with the home run last night. It's his second homer of the year tonight, the second Wild Things home run of the year. And when you need an attorney to hit one out of the park, yo, Keith. That home run's brought to you by Keith Owen Campbell, attorney at law. Yezzo broke his bat on that last one. No balls, 2 strikes the count to the Wild Things first baseman after the solo shot by Brian Haar, his second in 2 days. Kubel set. Has his sign from Toole. The 0-2 coming. Way inside. Almost got away from Toole. Ball 1. Tried to get Yezzo fishing. Yezzo today 0 for 1. entered this series 1 for 8. Kubel setting the 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's Kubel's 4th strikeout of the day, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Dave Popkins. Popkins 0 for 1 with a ground out. And Popkins, as we've been talking about this series, led the team in homers and RBIs last season with 20 and 46 as he looks to get going here in 2016. Coming in this game, Popkins 2 for 8. They're officially 2 for 9 in this series. Here's the pitch. That's outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the Wild Things right fielder. Wild Things scored their run in the game in this inning. Brian Haar, his 2nd homer of the year, out to left center field. Kubel setting the 1-0. And that's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Haar, as we said, only hit 1 home run all of last season in the Minnesota Twins single-A organization, and he already has 2 here in 2016 in the Frontier League. The 1-0 swung on and missed the ball and a strike. Or, excuse me, yeah, ball and a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count, excuse me. A little confusion there on my part. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. 1-1 score. Kubel looks in, has his sign from Toole. He's setting the 1-2 coming. And this one shot foul. Count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Popkins, the 6'3", 225-pound San Diego, California native. Switch hitter, started all 3 games in right field to start the season. Kubel setting the 1-2. Inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Wild Things number 5 hitter. Kubel set. And the 2-2 coming. And that one went behind Popkins, so the count goes full at 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. That one went right behind the legs of Popkins. And Dave Popkins last year for these Wild Things, a .232 hitter, 20 homers, 46 RBIs. He was also very good at the extra base hits. He had 17 doubles and 4 triples a year ago. Kubel set in the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and that's the 2nd strike out of the inning, the 5th strikeout of the day for Kubel, and there are 2 away following the Brian Haar home run. That'll bring up Andrew Heck. Heck 0 for 1. He grounded out to 3rd in his first at-bat. Heck has appeared in all 3 games this season, a defensive replacement in Game 1 on opening day. He played left field last night and ended up going 1 for 4. Here's the pitch, and that's outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count with the Wild Things left fielder. 1-1 score between the Wild Things and the Grizzlies here in the top of the 4th. Kubel's pitch, outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, the count to Andrew Heck. As Kubel today has been pitching pretty well. The 5 strikeouts, hasn't walked a batter yet. The 2-0, outside, ball 3. Or excuse me, he's walked 1 batter and in danger of walking his 2nd. Andrew Heck, his 4th year with the Washington Wild Things, hit .299 last season for the team. Kubel set the 3-0. And that's a called strike. 3 balls and a strike. Just hit that inside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kubel set. Here's the pitch. And this one fouled off back at the screen, so the count will go full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Wild Things tied this game here in the 4th with a leadoff home run by Brian Haar, his 2nd of the year for the Wild Things, the 2nd for this Wild Things team, as Haar has both home runs. Kubel set. The 3-2 coming. That's inside, ball 4. The 2nd walk of the day for Sasha Kubel. Gives the Wild Things a 2-out base runner. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Grant Fink. Fink collected his first hit of the 2016 season, his last at-bat with a single. So Andrew Heck, the runner at first. Fink, the designated hitter in today's game, came in to pinch hit last night and started the game in right field 2 nights ago. Here's Kubel's pitch, and it's a strike. No balls and a strike. Righty on lefty. Fink played for the Cleveland Indians single-A organization a year ago. Kubel set. Checks Heck at first. And the pitch coming. Fink fouls this one off back behind the stadium. No balls, 2 strikes the count. 0-2 the count. A packed house here at GCS Ballpark in Sauget, Illinois. You're listening to Game 3 of this 3-game series. The Wild Things took the opener by a score of 4-3. The Grizzlies took last night's game 10-3. Kubel set. The 0-2, nope, throw over to first, and Heck is back. With Andrew Heck over at first base, last season for the Wild Things, to go along with that .299 average, he stole 7 bases for the team. So a little threat to run, 7 bases in 48 games played. Kubel set. The pitch. In the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes as he couldn't get Fink to chase. Fink, the designated hitter in the Frontier League. They use the designated hitter, so the pitcher does not have to bat. Fink getting that duty today. In last night's game, it was Jimmy Yezzo. Kubel set in the 1-2. And this one fouled off back behind the stadium, so the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Fink, he was 0 for 5 in the series coming in today before he collected his first hit back in the 2nd inning. Eddie Sarando on deck. He struck out in his first at-bat. Kubel set. And the 1-2 coming. This one grounded, fair ball down the left field line past a diving Masoni. Heck rounds second, heading to third. They're going to wave him to the plate. Here comes the throw from the cutoff man, and he will be safe, uncontested. Wild Things take a 2-1 lead on an RBI double by Grant Fink here in the bottom of the 4th. The Wild Things take a 2-1 lead here in the 4th on that RBI double by Grant Fink. And coming into this game, Fink hadn't had a hit in 2 games. Today, 2 big hits, driving in one of the Wild Things' 2 RBIs. And that'll bring up Eddie Sarando. Sarando 0 for 1 with a strikeout. See if he can pick up his man at second base. 2 outs. Kubel set. And the first pitch coming. And it's a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Both run for the Wild Things coming in this 4th inning. A leadoff home run by Brian Harr over the left center field wall. And now an RBI double for Grant Fink that scored Andrew Heck. Kubel set. Kicks in the 1-0. And this one lined deep on the right field line, but it'll hook foul, hitting near the Country Bob's Grill House here at GCS Bank Ballpark. This Sunday afternoon, listen to the MSA Sports Network as Sasha Kubel, the lefty, facing the right-hander Eddie Sarando. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And this one swung on and fouled away. So 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 1-2 the count to Sarando. Nice sunny day here on Sauget, Illinois on MSA Sports Network. I'm Zach Ziegler giving you coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball. Kubel set, checks the runner at second, and the 1-2 coming. And that's inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sarando walked twice in last night's game. He only played in 4 games last season for the Wild Things, but hit .429. Kubel set, checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. And that's inside, ball 3. So the count goes full to Sarando. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3-2, 2 outs. As Kubel takes the mound, lefty versus righty. John Zizniewski on deck. Kubel set, the 3-2. And outside, ball 4. So Sorondo will walk, and the Wild Things have runners at first and second here with 2 away. That brings up the second baseman, John Zizniewski. Zizniewski walked in his first at-bat today. It was his second walk of the series. And pitching coach for the Grizzlies coming out to talk to pitcher Sasha Kubel after he's given up 2 runs in this inning already. And time to remind you, Sundays are Kids Club days at Consol Energy Park. Children 12 and under can join the club for free. They get lots of perks, including a t-shirt, giveaway items, and free tickets to all Kids Club days. For more information, log on to WashingtonWildThings.com or call the box office at 855-456-WILD. The Kids Club is sponsored by Kona Ice, MedExpress, PA Leadership Charter School, Pepsi, and Frito-Lay. It's their Kids' Day here at Gateway in Sauget, Illinois. Lots of kids in attendance at the ballpark. They had a little parade before the game of local high schools. They got to come out on the field, walk the warning track. So Kids' Day here this Sunday. It's going to be a Kids' Day next Sunday at Consol Energy Park when the Wild Things take on the Lake Erie Crushers. Kubel set. Checks Fink at second. Here's the pitch. And it's outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Zizniewski. Runners at first and second for the Wild Things. Fink at second after an RBI double, and Sorondo at first after the walk. Kubel set. And the 1-0 coming. And that's a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to the Wild Things second baseman. The Wild Things, Mike Mitchell coaching at first base, and manager Greg Langbin coaching at third. Kubel looks into Tool. He has his sign. He's set. And the 1-1. And that's high and outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. For the Wild Things here, we'll see if they can finally string some hits together. They have had opportunities today getting guys on base. We talked about in the pregame show, that's one thing they had to do today to be successful. And so far, they've had a couple of opportunities. See if they can capitalize here. Zizniewski grounds this to first. It's a tapper. Going to be a foot race to the base, and Zizniewski beats it out. Now coming to the plate and scoring is Grant Fink. A slow ground ball scores a run for the Wild Things. It's now 3-1. A nice hustle play by Grant Fink, scoring to second on that ground ball, as it's a single for Zizniewski. Runners at first and second, and the Wild Things take a 3-1 lead here over Gateway. A very heads-up play there by Grant Fink at second. That ball was just chopped over to first base. It was handled by Waldrop, but Waldrop had to come up. So in order to flip to the pitcher at first base, Waldrop had to turn around. He didn't see Fink around third base, and by the time he flipped to the pitcher, Fink was already halfway home and was able to come in. That's 3 runs here in the inning for the Gateway Grizzlies, and that will be it as Sasha Kubel's day is done. Pitching change for the Gateway Grizzlies. It means we'll take a break here on the MSA Sports Network. You're listening to Washington Wild Things Baseball right here on MSA Sports Network.
How does a 120-year-old company like Henderson Brothers keep up in a world that changes every minute, that keeps throwing curveballs, that flaunts new technology, that demands responsiveness? The answer is simple. With expertise. We insure the most successful corporations in the area, and they in turn recommend us. And for that, we're grateful. Henderson Brothers. Expect an expert.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. Pitching change for the Gateway Grizzlies as Dakota Smith takes over here in the top of the 4th with 2 outs, and the Wild Things have runners at first and second here. All 3 runs for the Wild Things being scored in this inning. It all started with a leadoff home run by Brian Haar to tie the score at 1. Then after a walk to Andrew Heck Grant Fink hit an RBI double down the left field line to score the second run of the inning, giving the Wild Things a 2-1 lead. Then Eddie Sorondo walked to give the Wild Things runners at first and second with 2 outs, and then John Zizniewski hit the RBI chopper to first base to score Fink. A nice hustle play there by Fink to score. The new pitcher, Dakota Smith, for the Gateway Grizzlies. And the final line on Kubel, 3 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts for Kubel. And Dakota Smith now on the mound for the Wild Things. Smith last year pitched for these Gateway Grizzlies, went 2-3, 4.90 ERA, 31 strikeouts, 30 walks, 36 hits allowed, in 22 runs, 21 earned, 13 games, 5 starts in 36 2/3 innings, as he will look to go a while here for the Gateway Grizzlies. It brings up Jamal Austin with runners at first and second and 2 away. Wild Things lead 3-1 here in the top of the 4th. Smith set, righty on righty. And the pitch. And low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Austin. Wisniewski the runner at first, Sorondo at second. Dakota Smith set, here's the 1-0. That's low, ball 2. Nice grab in the dirt by Toole behind the plate. 2-0 the count. 3-1 Wild Things lead from GCS Bank Stadium. Smith set. Checks Sorondo at second. The 2-0. And that's a called strike. 2 balls and a strike. Book not officially closed yet on Sasha Kubel, as he's responsible for the 2 men on base now. See if Smith can get him out of it. Smith set. And the 2-1 coming. That's high and outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike to Jamal Austin. The 8th hitter to come to the plate this inning. This inning started with a Brian Haar home run. Smith has his sign. He's set, the 3-1 coming. And that's low, ball 4, so bases full of Wild Things here with 2 away, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Austin Wobrock. Wobrock 0 for 2 with a strikeout on the day. Still looking for his first hit of the 2016 season. This would be a great time for him to get it, as the bags are full of Wild Things. A big inning here for the Washington Wild Things, scoring all 3 runs with 2 outs. The first run came in a leadoff home run, but the last 2-out rally here. Here's this pitch. And it's low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Wobrock, the 9th man to come to bat this inning. Sorondo at third, he walked. Wisniewski at second after an RBI single. Jamal Austin at first after he walked. The 1-0. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count. Smith set. And the 2-0 coming. And Wobrock up the middle, that's a base hit. Sorondo will score. Wisniewski coming around third, and he will score. 2 more in for the Wild Things, and they now take a 5-1 lead. Jamal Austin up to third, and the Wild Things have runners at first and third here with 2 outs. The big rally starting to come to fruition for the Wild Things. They now lead 5-1 and are pulling away from the Grizzlies here in the 4th. And they have batted around now as Brian Haar will step in. He led things off in this inning with a home run to get the scoring underway. Smith doesn't like the sign he has from Toole, so he'll step off. 5 runs in the inning for the Wild Things, looking to add more with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. Wild Things have batted around here in the 4th inning to score 5 here in the top of the 4th. Smith set, the pitch. And it's called strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count, 2 outs. Wild Things lead 5-1. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Wild Things. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. Smith set. And the 1-1. That's low ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Har is second home run of the young 2016 season back in the beginning of this 4th inning. Smith's pitch. There Wobrock goes. It'll be fouled off. Count goes to 2-2. Wobrock took off for second. The count remains 2-2. A big 4-run rally here with 2 outs has put the Wild Things ahead by a big 5-1 score. But Brian Har steps in. 5-1, your Wild Things lead it here in the top of the 4th. All 5 runs for the Wild Things coming in this inning. Here's the pitch. And chop foul. Still count remains 2-2 as Wobrock tried to go to second again. And he'll have to run back. Wobrock getting a workout there as he's ran for second on the last 2 pitches. Dakota Smith on the hill, the righty. Smith last year 2-3 for these Wild Things, a 4.90 ERA. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And this ball popped up behind the plate. Toole going back to the screen. Is going to have room? He will as he makes the catch. And finally, the inning is retired. But the Wild Things get 5 runs in the inning on 4 hits, no errors, and 2 left. And after 3.5, it's the score. Wild Things 5. Gateway Grizzlies 1. You're listening to Washington Wild Things baseball right here on the MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to PALCS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School. Lead, don't follow.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. Washington Wild Things lead 5-1 after a 5-run top of the 4th inning. They jump out to that big lead. I'm Zach Ziegler. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network here from GCS Ballpark in Sauget, Illinois. The 3rd game of this 3-game series. The Wild Things took game 1 by a score of 4-3 as they scored 3 runs in the 5th inning in that game and got an insurance run on an RBI single by Jimmy Yezzo to give them the 4-3 victory. And last night they lost by a score of 10-3 as things just didn't go their way on the mound. And today leading 5-1 after scoring 5 runs back in that 4th inning. And due up for the Grizzlies this inning, Vin Gilletti, Blake Brown, Ben Waldrop, 4, 5, and 6. The middle of this Grizzlies lineup is due up. Chase Cunningham still out there on the mound, pitching pretty well. A couple hiccup spots, had a hiccup in the 2nd, came back out in the 3rd, allowed a couple of hits, but didn't allow anyone to score. He's got a big 4-6-3 double play. And I thought the Grizzlies were going to score a 2nd run in that 3rd inning. They'd run it at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out. And a ground ball sharply hit the third baseman Har. He threw home to get the out. Meanwhile, Livesey, who was at 2nd base, did not move up to 3rd base, kept runners at 1st and 2nd, and created a double play to end that inning, leaving only 1 run to score. Or leaving no runs to score. Cunningham set in the first pitch to Gilletti. Is inside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Bottom of the 4th, Wild Things lead 5-1 here on the MSA Sports Network. The 1 ball, no strike pitch is down. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0 the count. Bottom of the 4th, Wild Things lead 5-1. Cunningham set in the pitch to Gilletti. Inside ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. As Gilletti didn't like it, it brushed him off the plate. 3-0. Here's the pitch from Cunningham. And the 3-0 is fouled back into the seats. 3 balls and a strike. 3-1 the count for Cunningham. Gave up a run in the second inning, got into a jam in the third, but was able to get out of it. He's trying to stop the leadoff base runner for getting on for the third inning in a row. The 3-1 pitch. And this ball popped up. Yezo calling. Now Wisniewski calling everyone off, and he'll make the catch. That's out number 1. With 1 away, that'll bring up the right fielder, Blake Brown. Brown today 0 for 1, grounded out to the second baseman, back in the second. Five to 1, Washington Wild Things lead. And the final line for Dakota Smith, going 3 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, gave up 5 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Cunningham setting the 1-0. And it's low, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Blake Brown. Brown, 22 homers for this team a year ago, but still looking for his first hit of 2016. Swung on a miss, 2-1. Austin Wobrock for the Wild Things got his first hit of 2016. It was a big one that drove in a run in the last inning. Here's the pitch. Swung and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. As he had his 2 RBI single last inning, put the Wild Things ahead 5-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Cunningham setting the pitch. And this one jacked to left field. Heck going back. He's just going to watch this one as it sails out of here. And the Grizzlies get one back. The score now 5-2. As that pitch by Cunningham just left center cut and Brandon Brown took it. We talked about it. He had 22 homers for the Grizzlies last season. His first home run of the 2016 season here. Gets the Wild Things within 3. Score now 5-2. As that'll bring up Ben Waldrop, the first baseman. No official at bat yet. He had a sac fly RBI in his first at bat. 5-2 the score. Chase Cunningham on the hill. And we talked about it coming in. Cunningham not a strikeout guy. He hasn't had a strikeout yet in this game either. Through the first 3 1/3 innings pitched. No strikeouts. Last year, just 15 strikeouts in 40 1/3 innings total. Cunningham setting the pitch. That's high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes the pitch. Or 1 ball, no strikes the count, excuse me. Ben Waldrop last year, a 289 hitter, 10 homers, 65 RBIs. Here's the pitch, and this one is popped up, and that'll go back foul. Ball and a strike to count. Ben Waldrop, the designated hitter in last night's game, went 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Cunningham has his sign from Toronto. He's setting the 1-1. This one chopped towards the middle. Wisniewski raining. Backhand fires to first, and he gets the out. Out number 2, 4-3 on the putout, and that'll bring out the center fielder, Brandon Thomas. He reached on an error by Jimmy Yezo his last time up. And Brandon Thomas last night 1 for 3 with a 2-run home run. Part of the 10-3 onslaught. Wild Things lead 5-2 here in the bottom of the 4th. As Cunningham looking into Sarando. He has his sign. He's setting the pitch. And that's a strike. No balls and a strike. 0-1 the count on Thomas. 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. Wild Things lead 5-2. Cunningham setting the 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count on Thomas. Thomas with the Tampa Yankees last year hit .213, a homer, and 7 RBIs in the low A level. They have 1 double and 2 triples. Here's the pitch. And bounces before it gets to the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. As he tried to get one in the dirt there for Thomas to chase, but it bounced way before the plate, so you're not going to get a batter to chase a pitch that's that low. Cunningham set the 1-2. And this ball lined to center field. Austin on his horse running back, and he will get there just in front of the track to make the catch, and that is out number 3. But the Gateway Grizzlies do get a run back in the inning on the home run by Blake Brown. No errors and none left on base. And after 4, the score, your Washington Wild Things 5, Gateway Grizzlies 2. You're listening to coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball right here on the MSA Sports Network.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get a sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We are back here on the MSA Sports Network, going to the top of the 5th. Your Wild Things lead this one 5-2 after a big 4th inning. They scored all 5 of their runs in the 4th inning. It started off with a Brian Haar home run to tie the game at 1 at that point. Then 2 straight strikeouts of Jimmy Yezzo and Dave Popkins. It looked like starter Sasha Kubel was going to get out of it. Then he walked Andrew Heck, so the Wild Things had a runner at first. Then Grant Fink, an RBI double, scored Heck from first, giving the Wild Things a 2-1 lead. A walk to Eddie Sarando gave Wild Things runners at first and second with 2 outs. Again, it looked like the Grizzlies were going to get out of it as John Zizniewski grounded out to first base. It was a chopper, but when Waldrop turned his back to the plate, Grant Fink, quick thinking, rounded third and took for the plate. He scored, and that made the score Wild Things 3, Gateway 1. And then a walk to Jamal Austin loaded the bases, and Austin Wobrock's first hit of the season drove in 2 runs and gave the Wild Things this 5-1 lead. As the first pitch to Jimmy Yezzo is a strike. No balls and a strike. 0-1 the count. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Wild Things. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Grizzlies. And that ball's in there. Strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes the count for the Wild Things first baseman. Yezzo coming into this series 1 for 8. He's 0 for 2 today, so 1 for 10 on the season. Here's the pitch. Hello and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to the Wild Things first baseman. Smith setting the 1-2. And that's low, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yezzo last year for the Wild Things, a .248 hitter, 3 homers, 18 RBI. Smith setting the 2-2. And outside, ball 3, just off the outside corner, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yezzo, the Cherry Hill, New Jersey native. 6'0", 205-pound left-handed batter. Here's the 3-2. And this one's fouled off to the screen. Count remains 3-2. Yezzo, a right-handed fielder, but a left-handed batter. One of those guys who switches when he comes to the plate. Throws predominantly with his right hand, but bats from the left side. The 3-2 from Smith. And this one fouled off. So the count remains 3-2. Yezzo can play multiple positions on the field. We saw him play outfield, some outfield in spring training, switching with Scott Carcasi, who Carcasi getting the night off today. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Yezzo strikes out. His second strikeout of the day. And there's 1 out here in the top of the 5th, and bringing up Dave Popkins, who's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Popkins in this series, 2 for 8 coming in, 0 for 2 today, so he's 2 for 10 on the season. Looking to get his bat going offensively. Smith set in the first pitch to him. Swing and a miss, no balls and a strike. Lefty versus righty as Popkins, a switch hitter, now batting from the left side for the first time today. Batted right-handed against the left-hander Sasha Kubel. The pitch is inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. Wild Things lead 5-2 here in the top of the 5th. Smith set and the 1-1. Outside ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And for Popkins, he does have 1 double this year. 1 extra base hit, struck out twice. Here's the pitch. And a called strike just on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Smith been working that outside corner against Popkins here, trying to get him to take the ball the other way. The 2-2. And Popkins fouls this one back into the seats. Count remains 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Dakota Smith looking into Toole for his sign. He has it. He's set, and the 2-2 coming. Swing and a miss. The second strikeout of the inning, second strikeout of the day for Dave Popkins, and there's quickly 2 away here in the top of the 5th. It brings up Andrew Heck, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. He scored the second run of the day for the Wild Things. For Andrew Heck, walked and scored. Smith setting the pitch to him. And that's high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Smith went full to Jimmy Yezzo and a 2-2 count to Popkins. Setting the 1-0. And that's low and outside on the corner. Strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Don't forget about the Antonio Brown Softball Challenge, which will be contested at Consol Energy Park on June 11th. That's coming up. Antonio Brown leads that one as that ball's outside. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. Tickets for the event are available at the box office or online. For more information on that celebrity softball game, give them a call at 866-456-WILD. The 2-1 set. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Andrew Heck looking at a 2-2 count. Smith trying to strike out the side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And this one fouled off. Count remains 2-2. 5-2 Wild Things lead. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Wild Things. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. Smith set, the 2-2 coming. Heck swings and just gets a piece of this one, fouling it off to the right. Count remains 2-2. In this inning, even though we've had 2 strikeouts, a couple long at-bats by Jimmy Yezzo going full, Dave Popkins fouling off a couple pitches, and now Andrew Heck, after getting the 2-2 count, has fouled off 2 straight. Smith looking in. Has his sign. Here's the pitch. And grounded foul off to the left. Count remains 2-2. So 3 straight foul balls for the Wild Things left fielder. Wind changing direction, going out to center field now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wild Things lead 5-2. Smith setting the pitch. Inside ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes as the count goes full. The Wild Things left fielder. Grant Fink on deck. 2 hits today, including an RBI double. Smith setting the 3-2. And that's low, ball 4. So a 2-out walk for Andrew Heck, and we'll see if the Wild Things can put together some more 2-out magic. As in steps Grant Fink. Fink 2 for 2 with a single and an RBI double back in the 4th. He drove in the second run of the ball game for the Wild Things and gave them the initial lead. Smith set. Checks Heck at first. Here's the pitch. Way inside. Almost got him on the arm. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Fink. Righty on righty. Fink versus Dakota Smith. Smith setting the pitch. And it's called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count on Grant Fink, the designated hitter today for the Wild Things. Jimmy Yezzo was the DH in Game 2 yesterday. Here's the pitch. 1-1 fouled off to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. The Wild Things designated hitter. Wild Things have had a different designated hitter every night. It's in game 1, it was Scott Carcasey. Jimmy Yezzo did it last night, and Grant Fink today. Here's the 1-2. Heck takes off for second, and it's fouled off. The count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and two outs. Grant Fink, the batter, 2 for 2 today on this sunny Sunday afternoon. Smith setting the 1-2. Swing and a miss. And he strikes out. Smith strikes out the side. But no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left after the walk in the inning. And after 4.5, the score, your Washington Wild Things 5, Gateway Grizzlies 2. We'll be back. You're listening to Wild Things Baseball right here on the MSA Sports Network.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get to sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We're back here on MSA Sports Network, getting ready to start the bottom of the 5th between the Washington Wild Things and the Gateway Grizzlies. The Wild Things lead this one 5-2, scoring all 5 of their runs in the top of the 4th. It started off with a Brian Haar home run, and then an RBI double by Grant Fink, an RBI single by John Zizniewski, and a 2 RBI single by Austin Wobrock has the Wild Things currently leading 5-1. And if you haven't heard, country artist Chris Young will be in concert at Consol Energy Park on August the 25th. Tickets for that are available on Ticketmaster.com. And also, Clearview Federal Credit Union has branches in Canonsburg, McMurray, and all over southwestern Pennsylvania. Visit clearviewfcu.org to find one near you. Chase Cunningham on the mound for his 5th inning of work here in this game, only allowing the 1 run. His big hiccup, or the 2 runs, his hiccups coming in the 2nd inning and last inning as Blake Brown took him deep for the 2nd run of the game, and then a sac fly by Ben Waldrop after a leadoff double by Vin Giletti gave the Grizzlies their 1st run. That'll bring up Tyler Toole, the catcher. Toole 0 for 1 today. Cunningham set in the first pitch, and that's a strike. No balls and a strike. Toole, Davis, and Livesey due up. Cunningham setting the 0-1. And that's low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count on the Grizzlies catcher. Toole. The 1-1 coming. And that's a ball, 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 on this sunny afternoon here in Sauget, Illinois, just outside St. Louis, Missouri. Cunningham setting the 2-1. Inside ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. 3-1. Cunningham set. Here comes the 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count goes full. Cunningham, a full count. Cunningham set. The pitch, it's popped up. Over to the left. Brian Haar camped under it. In foul territory in the left, he makes the catch for out number 1. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th, and that'll bring up Logan Davis, the shortstop. Davis is 1 for 1 today with a double. He got thrown out at the plate. Davis coming into the series, hitting 3 for 7 in this series, a .429 average. Getting another hit today. Here's the pitch. And it's called strike, no balls and a strike. Davis played shortstop for all 3 games. Cunningham set in the 0-1. And the ball just low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Logan Davis, the batter. Davis, a .213 hitter last season. Here's the 1-1. This one lined deep down the right field line, but this will hook foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Logan Davis. 5-2, Washington Wild Things lead this one here in the bottom of the 5th. Here on MSA Sports. Cunningham set in the 1-2. Swing and a miss as the ball's in the dirt. Sorondo tag him out, and that's out number 2. That's Cunningham's first strikeout of the day here in the bottom of the 5th. And we talked about in the pregame show, only 15 strikeouts in 40 1/3 innings pitched last season. So no surprise that the strikeout numbers are down today, but he does get one here in the bottom of the 5th, his first of the day, and that brings up Cody Livesey. Livesey 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. And low ball 1. Livesey singled in the 3rd and flew out in the beginning of the game when he was robbed by a hit by Andrew Heck. Cunningham set in the 1-0. Low ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, the count to the Grizzlies left fielder. Cunningham set, the 2-0 coming. And that's inside ball 3. 3-0 as Cunningham not finding the plate early on in this at-bat. Cunningham set the 3-0. And a called strike, 3 balls and a strike. Big crowd on hand here at GCS Bank Stadium. The official number, 6,350 in attendance as this ball grounded to the left side. Yezo, nice backhanded play. The flip to Cunningham will be in time to get the out. 3-1 on the putout, and 1-2-3 go the Gateway Grizzlies. After 5 innings of play, the score, your Washington Wild Things 5, Gateway Grizzlies 2. You're listening to Washington Wild Things Baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. Washington Wild Things baseball here as they lead the Gateway Grizzlies 5-2 in Sauget, Illinois at GCS Bank Stadium, home of the Gateway Grizzlies. And your Wild Things return home this Friday for the home opener against the Lake Erie Crushers. And we remind you that all Sunday home games are Donation Sundays, brought to you by Good. Fans are encouraged to bring gently used items to the park on Sundays and enter to win prizes courtesy of Goodwill. Also in that opening series, the Wild Things have several fun promotions planned all season long. On Sunday, May 22nd, we're hosting our Canine Fans for Bark in the Park. Courtesy of Rachel Ray's Nutrish, bring your pups to the park and receive a doggy photo frame thanks to the good folks at Dad's Pet Care. Please make sure you bring your dog's vaccination papers to ensure he or she can gain entry to the park. And the Wild Things lead 5-2, scoring all 5 runs back in the 4th inning of this game. Due up for the Wild Things this inning, Eddie Sorondo, John Zizniewski, and Jamal Austin. 8, 9, and 1 due up. As Eddie Sorondo, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Dakota Smith set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls and a strike as Sorondo swings right through that one. Top of the 6th, Wild Things lead 5-2 over the Gateway Grizzlies. Game 3 of this 3-game series. Smith set in the 0-1. And low ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tomorrow an off day for the Wild Things as they travel to Joliet, Illinois to take on the Joliet Slammers, the first of 3 starting on Tuesday night. Here's the 1-1. It's inside ball 2. That game can be heard right here on the MSA Sports Network. 8:05 first pitch against the Joliet Slammers. As the Slammers 1-1. Wild Things also 1-1. The 2-1. And that's low, ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Wild Things looking to win the series here today. They took the first game of this series on opening day by a score of 4-3. Lost last night 10-3. Smith set the 3-1. And this one's grounded to first. Waldrip handles it, and the flip to Smith at first covering, and that's out number 1. That'll bring up the second baseman, John Zizniewski. Zizniewski 1 for 1 with an RBI single and a run scored. He also walked in his first at-bat. So Zizniewski on base both times for the Wild Things. As there is 1 out here in the top of the 6th. The Wild Things lead 5-2. Smith setting the pitch. And it's called strike. No balls, 1 strike. 0-1 the count. Smith setting the 0-1. And that's a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count to Zizniewski. Zizniewski, the Staten Island, New York native. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out. 3-pitch strikeout to Zizniewski, and that brings up Jamal Austin. Austin 1 for 2 with a double and a walk today. Started off this game with the double to get the Wild Things going offensively. Smith looks in the tool, has his sign. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, no balls and a strike. Here's the 0-1 from Smith. And that's a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count on Jamal Austin. Austin, Atlanta, Georgia native. Here's the 0-2. And this one fouled back out of the stadium. Count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes the count on Jamal Austin. Smith setting the 0-2. And this one fouled back to the screen. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Oh, 0-2 the count. Wild Things lead 5-2 here in the top of the 6th. Smith setting the 0-2. And this one popped again, foul into the seats as Austin's fouled the last couple pitches away. Still 0-2. The 0-2, that's outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count here on Austin. Austin entered this game 2 for 8 in the series and 1 for 2 today. Smith set in the 1-2. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner, and that will end the inning. So 2 strikeouts end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left for the Wild Things. And after 5.5, the score, your Wild Things 5, the Gateway Grizzlies 2. You're listening to Wild Things Baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
We're back here getting ready to start the bottom of the 6th. Your Wild Things up 5-2. All 5 runs for the Wild Things coming back in the 4th inning. Brian Harr hit his 2nd homer of the year in that inning to get things kicked off. That tied the game at 1. Then after a walk to Andrew Heckett, RBI double by Grant Fink gave the Wild Things a 2-1 lead. An RBI bouncer single by John Zizniewski drove in Fink to make it 3-1. Then after Jamal Austin walk, Austin Wobrock his first hit of the 2016 season. A 2 RBI single scored Sorondo and Zizniewski to give the Wild Things this 5-2 lead. The Gateway Grizzlies got their first run back in the second after a leadoff double by Vin Galletti, and then he was moved over on a ground out, and a sac fly by Ben Waldrop drove him in. Their second run of the game came in the fourth when Blake Brown hit his first home run of the 2016 season to make it 5-2, and that's where we currently stand. Due up this inning for the Grizzlies, Seth Heck, Craig Massoni, and Vin Galletti, 2, 3, and 4 hitters. And there's double barrel action in the Wild Things bullpen. Zach Groats, the right-hander, Colin Stanley also moving around. As Stanley sits back down, so Zach Groats warming up. Here's the pitch from Cunningham. And a ball just off the inside corner. 1 ball, no strikes. For Cunningham, entering his 6th inning of work here, as he's setting the 1-0. This one grounded foul off to the left. Jeremy Holcomb out there protecting his bullpen catcher, Kyle Pollock. 1 ball, 1 strike. The way the bullpens are set up here at GCS Bank Ballpark, they're in foul territory, so you have to have someone back there watching your catcher's back as the catcher's back is turned to the field. Here as Heck lines this one down the left field line, and it will stay fair as it hits off the fence. Heck around first, heading to second, and Andrew Heck picks the ball up for the Wild Things and throws it in. So the Gateway Grizzlies, a leadoff base runner, as they have a double from Seth Heck. Nobody out. That brings up Craig Massoni, the third baseman. Massoni on the day, 0 for 2. That leadoff double. Action of the Grizzly bullpen. John Pusateri warming up down there. So Cunningham dealing with the leadoff runner on. Wild Things up 5-2. And Craig Massoni the batter. Cunningham set. Now will step off. As he wants to go through the signs again with catcher Eddie Sorondo. Sorondo starting his 2nd straight game, as Kyle Pollock was supposed to start last night, but was scratched due to injury. Cunningham setting the pitch. High ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Cunningham looks into Sorondo. He has his sign. He's set. And the pitch coming. And this ball cracked the left field. Will it stay fair? And it's gone. A 2-run shot by Craig Massoni pulls the Grizzlies within 1. It's now 5-4 here in the 6th as Massoni drives that one out of here. And that ball was crushed, left right over the middle of the plate by Chase Cunningham. As that one goes out, Wild Things still have the 5-4 lead, but things get a little tricky here as they now only lead by 1. And manager Greg Langbin coming to the mound, and that looks like it will be it for the starter, Chase Cunningham. Pitching change for the Washington Wild Things. And we're going to take a break here on the MSA Sports Network. You're listening to MSA Sports' coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball.
How does a 120-year-old company like Henderson Brothers keep up in a world that changes every minute, that keeps throwing curveballs, that flaunts new technology, that demands responsiveness? The answer is simple. With expertise, we ensure the most successful corporations in the area, and they in turn recommend us. And for that, we're grateful. Henderson Brothers. Expect an expert.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. New pitcher for the Wild Things is Zach Groats. Groats appeared in the opening day game this season and threw a scoreless inning for the Wild Things, striking out 1 and giving up 1 hit. So Groats appearing in his 2nd game of the year. Coming on for the Washington Wild Things. Groats last season pitched for the Houston Astros single-A organization, went 5-3 with a 3.27 ERA, 15 strikeouts, 5 walks, 17 hits. 7 runs, 5 earned, 20 games in 39 and a third innings pitched. So again, Groats, like Cunningham, a guy who likes to have the ball in play, as not a lot of strikeouts for Groats, just 15. Yeah, just 15 in the 39 and a third innings pitched for Groats. And now with the Grizzlies down by 1, score 5-4. Coming up will be Vin Galletti. Galletti, the designated hitter. Galletti 1 for 2 with a double on the day. As Zach Groats, the new pitcher, righty on lefty. Groats set in the pitch. And popped up by Galletti. Heck going over, and he camps under it and makes the catch. That's out number 1. One away here for the Grizzlies, and that'll bring up Blake Brown. The last time he was up, he homered. His first homer of the 2016 season. He's 1 for 2. He grounded out in the first time up. And the first pitch is swung on a miss, 0-1. No balls and a strike. Final line on Chase Cunningham. 5 innings, 1 strikeout, no walks, 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned as this pitch is swung on and missed. No balls, 2 strikes. 0-2 the count. Blake Brown, the right fielder. Wild Things lead 5-4. The 0-2 pitch, just high, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Groats set, here's the pitch. And called, strike 3, he strikes him out. And there are quickly 2 away after the 2-run homer. So 2 away, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Ben Waldrop. Waldrop 0 for 1 with a sac fly. He drove in the first run of the game for the Grizzlies back in inning number 2. Wild Things lead 5-4. Grizzlies added 2 runs in this inning on a Craig Massoni 2-run homer. Groats set in the pitch. This one's chopped down the line, just foul past the first base bag. No balls and a strike. Groats on opening day threw a scoreless inning of work for the Grizzlies, striking out 1 and allowing 1 hit. Groats signed this offseason to bolster the back end of the Washington Wild Things bullpen. He looks to keep the score right where it is. Groats set in the 0-1. And this ball popped up. Wobrock is under it, calling everyone off, and he'll make the catch. That's out number 3, but the Grizzlies do get 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, and none left. And after 6, the score, your Washington Wild Things 5, Gateway Grizzlies 4. We'll be right back. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network's coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to PALCS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School. Lead, don't follow.
We are back here on MSA Sports Network's coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball, and it'll be a new pitcher on the mound for the Gateway Grizzlies as John Pusateri takes over for Dakota Smith. Pusateri making his first appearance of the series. Last year, Pusateri pitching for the University of Akron. That was actually in 2014, the last time he pitched. He was 0-1 with a 7.79 ERA, 12 strikeouts, 14 walks, 24 hits allowed. 15 runs, 14 earned, 12 games, started a game and pitched 17 and a third innings. Out of baseball last year, returning this year. This is his first outing of the 2016 season here in Game 3. As he finishes his warm-up tosses, due up for the Wild Things this inning is Austin Wobrock, Brian Haar, and Jimmy Yezzo. Pusateri finishing his warm-up tosses as we get ready. Wobrock today, Wobrock today 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI single. As he leads things off, got his first hit of the 2016 season. That was part of the 5-run 4th inning for the Wild Things, as they look to add some insurance runs here in the 7th. Austin Wobrock, the Wild Things lead 5-4 here on this sunny Sunday afternoon. A capacity crowd, 6,350 fans here at GCS Bank Stadium, as we see a lot of kids in the audience hanging out on the lawns. The short porch and right covered with people, and we are ready. Final line of Dakota Smith, 2 1/3, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts as this pitch is popped up and into the seats, 0-1. Pusateri looks in the tool for his sign. He's set. And the 0-1 coming. And a little bit low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. One and one. Line on Dakota Smith one more time. 2 1/3, 5 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit, no runs, no earned. As 1-2 the count to the Wild Things shortstop Wobrock. Here's the pitch. Up the middle, past Davis into center field. That's a base hit to start things here in the 7th. So Wobrock came into the game looking for a hit. Now has 2. He's 2 for 4 on the day with his second single. And I'll bring up Brian Haar, hoping to do what he did his last time up. He launched his second homer of the year over the left center field wall, and at that point tied the game at 1. Wild Things now lead 5-4 as they look to add on here in the top of the 7th. Insurance runs always necessary when you can get them. Here's the pitch. And it's low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to the Wild Things third baseman. Haar's homered in back-to-back games. Homered last night. At that point made the score 10-3. Pusateri's pitch. And a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and one the count on this Sunday afternoon. Here's the 1-1. Taking off for second is Wobrock. Here's the throw down. The throw is high, and Wobrock will get in there. So the Wild Things have a runner in scoring position now. 2-1 the count to Brian Haar. For Wobrock, that's his first steal of the season. Pusateri set, checks Wobrock second. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2, nobody out. Brian Haar the batter. Wild Things lead 5-4 in this one. Pusateri has his sign from Tool. He's set. The 2-2 coming. Inside ball 3, so count goes full. Wild Things have a runner at second here. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th looking to add more. They lead 5-1. And Pusateri will step off. Didn't like the signs he was seeing from Tool. Haar 2 home runs in this series. Came into the game hitting 200 in the series. Pusateri set. The 3-2 coming. And Haar, another ball hit deep to left. And this ball will exit stage left. Another 2-run homer for Brian Haar. And the Wild Things now lead 7-4. His second home run of the game. His third home run of the season. The third homer for the Wild Things this year. All belonging to Brian Haar. His second of the day. He has 3 in the last 2 games. And the Wild Things jump out now. A big insurance runs for the Wild Things. Now lead 7-4 here in the 7th. And that'll bring up Jimmy Yezzo, the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Yezzo fouls it back. No balls and a strike. For Har, his 3rd home run of the season, and when you need an attorney to hit one out of the park, yo Keith. That home run's brought to you by Keith Owen Campbell, attorney at law. Here's the 0-1, and this one fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes. Brian Har's 2nd homer of the day gives the Wild Things a 3-run lead. And with the response by the Grizzlies last inning, it was a good job by the Wild Things to get some more runs here. Here's the 0-2. Low ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and we talked about it in the open. If the Wild Things could string hits together, they had a good chance of victory today, and they've done just that. Pusateri set, and the 1-2. Yezzo grounds to third. Masoni handles it over there. He'll throw across to first and get him for out number 1. First out of the inning. And that'll bring up Dave Popkins, the right fielder, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts today. Wild Things lead 7-4 here in the top of the 7th. 2 runs in the inning already after a leadoff single by Wobrock, a stolen base, and a 2-run homer from Brian Har. Pusateri set the pitch. Swing and a miss, no balls and a strike. 0-1 the count. Here on Popkins. Pusateri has his sign. He set the 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. 7-4, Washington leads this one over the Gateway Grizzlies. Here in the top of the 7th. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Wild Things. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. So Popkins batting, no balls, 2 strikes the count. 7-4, Washington leads this one. Pusateri set. Here's the pitch. And low and outside ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to the Wild Things right fielder. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Pusateri set. And the 1-2 coming. Swing and a miss as Popkins goes chasing. That's his 3rd strikeout of the night. 2 away here in the top of the 7th. And this will bring up Andrew Heck. Andrew Heck on the day, 0 for 1, but has walked twice and scored a run. Pusateri set, the first pitch to Heck. That's a called strike, no balls and a strike. 0-1 the count on Heck. Pusateri set. The 0-1 coming. And a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes. Nice sunny day here in Sauget, Illinois. Pusateri set the 0-2. And this ball lined to right field. Brown camped under it, and he will make the catch. And that is out number 3. But 2 more runs in the inning for the Wild Things on the 2-run homer by Brian Har. There were 2 hits, no errors, and none left on. After 6.5, your Wild Things jump out in front to a 3-run lead, now leading it 7-4. You're listening to Washington Wild Things baseball here on the MSA Sports Network. I'm Zach Ziegler taking you through the whole 2016 Washington Wild Things season. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more baseball here on MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to PALCS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
We are back here on the MSA Sports Network. Heading into the bottom of the 7th, your Washington Wild Things have taken a 7-4 lead over the Gateway Grizzlies. And they got the 2 insurance runs on a 2-run homer by Brian Haar, his second of the day, following an Austin Wobrock leadoff single and his first stolen base of the year. Haar cracked his second homer of the day over the left field wall, and that gave the Wild Things a 7-4 lead. Zach Groats back out there on the mound for the Wild Things here in the bottom of the 7th, going for his second inning of work. And due up for the Grizzlies this inning, Brandon Thomas, Tyler Toole, and Logan Davis. Thomas, the first batter of this inning, 0 for 2 today. He did reach on an error and stole a base back in the second. So Zach Groats came in last inning for Chase Cunningham, as Cunningham gave up a 2-run homer that made it a 5-4 game at that point, and Groats came in and proceeded to get the next 3 men out. And the first pitch here is a ball, 1 ball, no strikes to Brandon Thomas. 1 ball, no strike pitch from Groats. Swung on and missed 1-1. Groats 15 strikeouts last season in 22 innings pitched. Here's the 1-1. And this one fouled off, 1 ball, 2 strikes. In his first appearance this year, he got a strikeout for the Wild Things in his 1 inning, gave up 1 hit in game 1 of this series. Groats looks into Sorondo. Setting the 1-2. And ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Just past 6:15 on the Eastern time zone. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and that is a strikeout. The second strikeout of the day for Groats. And that'll bring up the catcher, Tyler Toole. Toole on the day, 0 for 2. Popped out to third base and flew out to right field. For Groats, retired 4 straight batters now. Groats set, here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, blew that one by him, no balls and a strike. And the Wild Things action in their bullpen, Devon Davis warming up. Groats setting the 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis made an appearance in the first game of this series. Here's the pitch. And a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the pitch coming. Low ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes here on the catcher, Tyler Toole. Seven to 4. Wild Things lead. Here's the 2-2. And this one lined to left field. Heck giving chase, but it'll get down and go to the corner. Toole around first, and it'll hop over the fence out there for a ground rule double. There's a short chain link fence in foul territory leading to the dugouts. It hopped over that fence, and a ground rule double for Tyler Toole gives the Grizzlies a runner at second with 1 away and brings up the shortstop, Logan Davis. Davis 1 for 2 with a double today. Davis the batter. Groats set and checks the runner at second. The pitch. Way inside, and it gets away from Sorondo. So moving up to third is Tyler Toole. Wild pitch for Zach Groats. Seven to 4, Wild Things lead, as the Grizzlies have a runner at third with 1 away. Logan Davis, good offensive series coming in, as we said, 429 on the series, 3 for 7. It added a 1 for 2 day today. Here's the pitch. 1-0 is lined in the left field. Heck going over, makes the catch. He's going to fire it in, and what a throw by Andrew Heck. forcing Toole to come back, and he does not score. There are now 2 away. Andrew Heck fires the ball in there, forces Toole to hold at third, and there is now 2 outs, and it'll bring up Cody Livesey. Livesey on the day, 1 for 3 with a single. Robbed of another hit on the day in the first inning by Andrew Heck, and manager Greg Langbin out of the dugout. And it looks like we will go to the bullpen as Devon Davis will come in for the Wild Things. We're going to take a break here. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network's coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get to sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We're back here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs here. Devon Davis taking over on the mound for the Washington Wild Things. Zach Rotes, 1 2/3 innings pitched on the night. He was effective out of the bullpen, coming in after the 2-run homer by Craig Masoni, which at that point made the score 5-4. He struck out 2 guys, walked 1, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no earned, but he is responsible for the runner at third. Devon Davis, the new pitcher. Davis made an appearance on opening day for the Washington Wild Things. And in that game, Davis threw a third of an inning, only got 1 batter out, gave up 1 hit, and he is in for his second appearance today. Lefty on lefty, as the batter currently is Cody Livesey. Livesey the left-hander, so manager Greg Langbin wants to get the favorable matchup, lefty on lefty. And fans, there will be lots of giveaways at Consol Energy Park this summer. We're giving away beach towels, t-shirts, hats, and even an ugly sweater blanket. Check out the website for details. Wild Things return home on Friday for their home opener against the Lake Erie Crushers after going to Joliet on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to take on the Slammers. The first pitch from Davis to Livesey is a ball, 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch fouled back, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lefty on lefty. Langbin choosing to go to the lefty to try to face Cody Livesey, the 1-1. And this one popped up. Foul territory. Har coming over, and he makes the sliding catch. What a grab by Brian Har in foul territory, and he makes the catch. That's out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left for the Grizzlies. And after 7, your Wild Things lead this one 7-4. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network.
You just never know how your day is going to go. The same holds true at Penn Station East Coast Subs. For some unsuspecting spuds, they start their day as Idaho potatoes, only to be transformed into hand-hewn fries. Unlucky for them, good for you. However, both your days get better because the fries get to sidle up next to a perfectly grilled Philly cheesesteak. Then, on their way to their final resting place, they get bathed in citric nectar, our signature lemonade. Wherever your day takes you, we recommend Penn Station be one of the stops.
We're back here on MSA Sports Network. Your Washington Wild Things lead this one 7-4. And that inning ended with a great sliding catch by Brian Har, running from his third base position and making the sliding catch in between the mound and home plate in the Washington Wild Things bullpen on the left side in foul territory. So a great job by Brian Har of hustling over there. And due up for the Wild Things here in the top of the 8th inning will be Grant Fink, Eddie Sarando, and John Zizniewski. Wild Things added some insurance in the last inning after Austin Wilbrock led off the inning with a single. and stole second base, his first stolen base of the year. Brian Harr hit a 2-run homer, his second of the game, as he's driven in 3 of the Wild Things' 7 runs this afternoon. And Grant Fink also has an RBI. He drove it in. He's 2 for 3, an RBI double and a single on the day for the Wild Things designated hitter. As Fink steps in here in the top of the 8th, we're about ready for action. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network. I'm Zach Ziegler. We're covering the Washington Wild Things all season long during the 2016 season. You can hear all the games. Next game, Tuesday night, 8:05 from Joliet, Illinois, when the Wild Things take on the Joliet Slammers. Pusateri set the first pitch. Swing and a miss, swing and fouled off the catcher's mask. No balls, 1 strike. So Fink, Sarando, Zizniewski due up for the Wild Things this half inning. 7, 8, 9 here in the 8th. 7-4 score, Wild Things lead. Pusateri making his 2016 debut in the Frontier League. Gave up 2 runs last inning. He's setting the pitch. And that's a called strike. No balls, 2 strikes on Fink. 0-2 the count. As the designated hitter, Grant Fink. Got the night off last night. Here's the 0-2. And low ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count here on Fink. Pusateri has his sign from Toole. He's set. And the 1-2. And low, ball 2 as he gets between the legs of Toole. And back to the backstop. MSA Sports Network, Wild Things lead 7-4. Nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Grant Fink, the leadoff batter. Pusateri set. And the 2-2. Low ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes as the count goes full. 3-2. Pusateri set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Fink strikes out, and that's out number 1. That'll bring up Eddie Sarando. Sarando 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored today. And Wild Things fans, there's Washington County's got something for you. Indoors, outdoors, history, sports, gaming, shopping. This is the place for your next adventure. Brought to you by Washington County Tourism Promotion Agency. Visit them at visitwashingtonpa.com. As Sarando hits this one foul off to the right, and it'll get into the seats. No balls and a strike to the Wild Things catcher. 0-1 the count. That's Pusateri looking into Toole. He has his sign. He's set. And the 0-1. And low ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count to the Wild Things catcher. The 1-1 pitch. And a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Wild Things lead 7-4. And the 1-2 swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning for Pusateri, and that'll bring up John Zizniewski. Zizniewski 0 for 2 or 1 for 2 on the day, with a walk and a run scored. Zizniewski waits for the first pitch. Here it comes. And this ball hit in the air to right field. Brown giving chase towards the foul line, and he will make a nice running catch. And that is out number 3. 1-2-3 go the Wild Things here in the 8th. After 7.5, though, your score, Wild Things 7, Gateway Grizzlies 4. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network's coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. Right now, the Washington Wild Things lead 7-4 here in the bottom of the 8th. Devon Davis will stay in to pitch after getting the last out in the 7th inning. So he's trying to bridge the gap for the Wild Things in the 9th. Due up for the Grizzlies in this half inning will be Seth Heck, Craig Masoni, and Vin Giletti. 2, 3, and 4. Other action going on around the Frontier League. The Normal Corn Belters are beating the Joliet Slammers 16-1 in the top of the 7th there in Normal. Also, Southern Illinois Miners are leading the Traverse City Beach Bums 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Schaumburg and Evansville still scoreless. They're in the bottom of the 2nd. And the Windy City Thunderbolts and Florence Freedom are scoreless, also in the bottom of the 2nd. The only other game tonight, Slammers and Corn Belters. It's the second game of their doubleheader, as they were rained out 2 nights ago and making that game up tonight. So Devon Davis finished with his warm-up tosses. 2, 3, 4 due up for the Gateway Grizzlies. They're down 3, and Seth Heck will be the first batter. He is 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Seth Heck, no relation to left fielder Andrew Heck of the Washington Wild Things. Just a similar name. Davis set. Here's the pitch. And a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count. Davis got the last out of last inning as this pitch is low. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. 2-0. Davis set. Here's the pitch. Ball 3. 3-0. Action in the Grizzlies bullpen as Nate Carter warms up. Seth Heck is the batter. Here's the pitch from Davis. And that's a called strike. 3 balls and a strike. Wild Things lead 7-4 here on this Sunday afternoon, set to 3-1. And this ball popped up. Shallow right field. Wisniewski out, calls everyone off, and makes the catch. Out number 1. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th, and Craig Masoni will step in. 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer back in the 6th inning. That homer got the Grizzlies within 1. It was 5-4 at that point. But then Brian Haar hit his second homer of the day. A 2-run shot to make it 7-4. Davis setting the first pitch to Masoni. And outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to the Grizzly third baseman. Davis working quickly. Here's the 1-0. And that's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 the count. Davis setting the pitch. And that's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2. Davis setting the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Davis strikes him out. First strikeout of the game for Devon Davis, and that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Vin Giletti. This will be a lefty-on-lefty matchup for Davis. Davis set. Here's the first pitch. And this one, line to short. Wisniewski handles it on the outfield grass, throws on to first, and that's out number 3. So 1, 2, 3 go the Grizzlies here in inning number 8. And your score after 8, Wild Things 7, Gateway Grizzlies 4. You're listening to coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball here on the MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to Pucks.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School. Lead, don't follow.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network, going to the top of the ninth. Wild Things looking to add some insurance as they lead this one by a score of 7-4. New pitcher for the Gateway Grizzlies will be Nate Carter coming into this game. Carter appeared in last night's game in the 10-3 victory. Pitched a scoreless 1-2-3 inning, not giving up any hits, not striking out anybody, and not walking a batter. So Carter, the new pitcher, replaces Pusateri. And due up for the Wild Things here in the top of the ninth, top of the order. Jamal Austin, Austin Wobrock, and Brian Haar. 7-4 Wild Things lead here on this Sunday afternoon, going into the last inning of play. After this, the Wild Things go to Joliet to take on the Slammers. Off day tomorrow. And Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they play the Slammers. And then they come back home on Friday for the home opener against the Lake Erie Crushers. And Jamal Austin stepping in now for the Wild Things. He's 2 for 4 on the day, the double and a single. And the final line on John Pusateri. 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, no walks, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned. Austin the batter here in the top of the ninth. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, no balls and a strike. Wild Things looking to win this series against the Gateway Grizzlies. Action in the bullpen, Andrew Wick, the closer, warming up. Carter set. The 0-1 coming. And that's outside ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wild Things looking for some insurance here in the ninth inning. Carter set. The 1-1 coming. And low and away 2-1. 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 the count. Carter set and the pitch. And this one fouled off back into the seats. Count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Nobody out. Jamal Austin leading things off for the Wild Things. Carter setting the pitch. And a wave and a miss for Austin, and that's out number 1. His second strikeout of the day. And that brings up Austin Wobrock. Wobrock 2 for 4 today. 2 singles, 2 strikeouts, a stolen base, and a run scored. Nate Carter, the righty on the mound, appeared in yesterday's game through a scoreless inning and starts off tonight right with a strikeout. Carter set. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls and a strike. 7 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Wild Things. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Grizzlies. Here's the pitch. And Wobrock, a drive to right field. Back is Brown, and it will exit stage right. Home run, Austin Wobrock. There's the insurance that the Wild Things needed. They now lead 8-4 on Wobrock's first home run of the 2016 season. Didn't know if that ball got out initially, but it just had enough to get over that right field wall. Wild Things lead 8-4. And that'll bring up Brian Haar, who has 2 runs of his own on the afternoon. Carter said, here's the pitch. And it's high and out. It's on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Haar already 2 homers under his belt. 3 on the season. That's the 4th home run of the season for the Wild Things. And when you need an attorney to hit one out of the park, yo, Keith. That home run's brought to you by Keith Owen Campbell, attorney at law, as Brian Haar hits the 0-1 pitch out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. Brian Haar, 3 home runs on the season. Austin Wobrock now has 1. Carter set. And the 0-2. And inside, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the Wild Things third baseman. Carter set. And the 1-2. And Haar lines it down the left field line. Foul. Just past that Wild Things bullpen. 1-2, 1 out. Here on this Sunday afternoon, here in the top of the ninth, Wild Things lead 8-4. Got an insurance run on the Austin Wobrock home run, his first home run of the 2016 season. Carter set. And the 1-2. High ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 the count. Carter looks in, has his sign from Toole. He's set. And the 2-2 coming. Ground ball to second. Handled there by Heck. Heck will throw on to first, and that's out number 2. 4-3 on the put out, and that brings up Jimmy Yezzo, the first baseman. Yezzo 0 for 4 on the evening with 2 strikeouts. Nate Carter on the mound. Got a strikeout of Austin to begin the inning. Gave up the home run to Austin Wobrock. And now the ground out by Brian Haar. Carter setting the pitch. And Yezzo lines it down the line, just foul off to the right. No balls and a strike. 0-1 the count. Jimmy Yezzo, the first baseman. Struggling today, 0 for 4 2Ks. Carter setting the 0-1. That's low, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1, 2 outs. Count to the Wild Things first baseman. Carter set the pitch. That's inside, or ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. For Yezzo, 1 for 12 in this series. Game 3. Here's the 1-2-1. That one's grounded foul. Count goes to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wild Things lead 8-4. Here in the top of the ninth. Got an insurance run on the Austin Wobrock home run. 3 home runs on the day for the Wild Things. 2 by Brian Haar, 1 by Austin Wobrock. Grant Fink and John Zizniewski also drove in runs today. Carter setting the pitch. And a called strike 3, and that is out number 3. But the Wild Things do add another run in the inning on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And after 8.5, the score, Wild Things 8, Grizzlies 4, as it'll be Andrew Wick coming into the ball game to try to close this one out for the Wild Things. No longer a save situation, but we'll see what he can do on the mound. We'll be right back. You're listening to the MSA Sports Network's coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball.
AAA members enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance, exclusive member-only discounts, expert travel assistance, free identity theft protection, and much more. With that AAA card in your wallet or purse, you have the peace of mind, safety, and security that only AAA membership can provide. Already a member? Don't forget to renew. Not a member? Join AAA today at any nearby office or online at AAA.com. AAA, we're always with you.
We're back here on the MSA Sports Network. Bottom of the ninth. Washington Wild Things lead 8-4 as they get an insurance run on the home run by Austin Wobrock. The final line on Devon Davis. 1 1/3 innings. No hits, no runs, no earns, no walks. 1 strikeout for the Wild Things lefty. And the new pitcher for the Wild Things, Andrew Wick, making his second appearance of the season. The closer for the Wild Things. In his first appearance, got a little roughed up, did Wick. Wick did throw the inning. He did get his first save of the season, but he struck out 1, walked 1, allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, none of which were earned, as he looks to close things out here for the Wild Things in this game. And on Thursdays, fans can enjoy several special offers. On Thursdays, the Wild Things are offering 2-for-1 tickets. Stop by the box office to get yours. In addition, there's a 4 for $44 offer. It includes 4 reserved seat tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, and 4 small soft drinks. Normally a $76 package, just $44 every Thursday. The Wild Things are home this summer. And leading things off in the bottom of the ninth here for the Grizzlies is Blake Brown, Brown on the day, 1 for 3 with his first home run of the season, back in inning number 4. Wick looking to close things out for the Wild Things. He's set. First pitch. And high and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Brown. Wick set. And the 1-0 coming. And this ball hit to center field. Hit shallow. Jamal Austin coming in, calling everyone out, and that's out number 1. So quickly 1 away here for the Grizzlies, and that'll bring up Ben Waldrop, the first baseman. Waldrop 0 for 2 with a sac fly RBI on the day. Wild Things lead 8-4 here in the bottom of the ninth. They got an insurance run in the top of the ninth when Austin Wobrock hit his first home run of the 2016 season for the Washington Wild Things, putting them ahead 8-4. Also, Brian Harr with 2 home runs, a solo shot, and a 2-run homer. Also, John Zizniewski and Grant Fink driving in runs today. Wick's pitch, and low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to the Grizzly first baseman. 1-0, 1 out. Wild Things lead 8-4, looking for 2 more outs in this one to secure their second victory of the season. Wick set, and the 1-0 coming. And this ball hit a ton to right field, but it's hooking, and it will go foul. Back behind the concession stands here at GCS Bank Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Wild Things lead 8-4. Wick looking to Sarando for his sign. He has it. He's set. The 1-1 coming. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 the count to Ben Waldrop. Wick looking in. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Wick is set. And the pitch. And this one hit foul back behind the seats. Count remains 1-2. After this one, the Wild Things will travel to Joliet, Illinois, to take on the Joliet Slammers, a 3-game series starting Tuesday. The game can be heard on Tuesday right here, 8:05 p.m. first pitch. I'm Zach Ziegler. I'll be calling it for you as game 1 of a 3-game series against the Slammers. Wick set, and the 1-2 coming. And this one hit the left field. Heck going back. He's under it. He'll make the catch. That's out number 2. Wild Things now 1 out away from victory here, and the batter for the Grizzlies, Brandon Thomas, the center fielder. Thomas 0 for 3 on the day. He reached on an error in the second inning and stole his first base. And stole a base. So Andrew Wick gets the first 2 guys out. Looking to secure this victory for the Wild Things. Has his sign from Sarando. He's set. Here's the pitch. And a ball just low. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Thomas. 1-0, 2 outs. Wild Things lead 8-4 in the bottom of the ninth. Wick set. And the 1-0 coming. High ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. The count. 2 away. 8-4 Wild Things lead on this Sunday afternoon. Wick set. Looks into Sarando. Has his sign. Here's the 2-0. Fouled off. 2 balls and a strike just to the right of the Gateway Grizzlies dugout. 2-1, 2 outs. 6,350 that paid attendance at GCS Ballpark for Game 3 of this three-game series between your Wild Things and the Grizzlies. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Grizzlies down to their last strike. Andrew Wick trying to secure this one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wick looks into Sarando. He is set. And the 2-2 coming. Check swing! No, he did not go around. Count goes full, ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Wick looking for this final out. Full count to Thomas. Wick set. And the 3-2 coming. And high, ball 4. So he 2-out walk gives the Grizzly a base runner. And that'll bring up the catcher, Tyler Toole. Toole today, 1 for 3 with a double. And in this series, Toole pretty good offensively. 2 for 7 at 286 coming in. Adding a 1 for 3 day today. Wick set in the pitch. And low ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Andrew Wick, the right-hander, versus Toole, the left-handed batter. Wick set. And the 1-0 coming. Low and inside, ball 2. Two and 0 the count. Wick set. And the 2-0 coming. And this one driven to right field. This is deep, and this is way gone. A 2-run shot for Tyler Toole, his first home run of the season. And the Grizzlies crawling back, score 8-6. As a 2-out, 2-run homer gives the Grizzlies some life. Wild Things still ahead by 2. Eight to 6 the score now. As that brings up Logan Davis, the shortstop. Davis 1 for 3. That ball not only cleared the short porch in right field, but cleared the high wall out there in right field as well. Wick set. The pitch. Bunting pops it up and it'll go foul. Back behind the seats, no balls and a strike. Wick looking for this last out here in the 9th inning. Had some trouble on Friday night as well as he gave up 2 runs. Neither of those were earned. Wick set. Here's the pitch. And ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just high and outside. Wick trying to find this final out for the Wild Things. Wick set. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gateway down to its last strike of the day. In front of a crowd of 6,350. Wick looks in. He's set. The 1-2 pitch. And this ball popped up. Foul territory. Har coming over. He's under it. And he makes the catch. You can put this one in the books. The Wild Things win. Final score. Wild Things 8. Gateway Grizzlies 6. We'll be right back here on the MSA Sports Network for the Washington Wild Things pregame show. You're listening to coverage of Washington Wild Things baseball on the MSA Sports Network.
PA Leadership Charter School is a proud sponsor of the Washington Wild Things. PALCS is a tuition-free online public school for K-12 students. PALCS can help your child hit a home run in their education through flexibility, student-to-teacher interaction, and socialization opportunities. Go to PALCS.org for more information. Go Wild Things!
PA Leadership Charter School. Lead, don't follow.
We're back here on the Washington Wild Things pregame show. Final score, your Wild Things pull this one out, winning the game by the final score of 8-6. I'm Zach Ziegler, and today the key offense came through big in the fourth inning, a 5-run inning to get things started for the Washington Wild Things. They were down 1-0 going into the inning when Brian Harr started things out with a leadoff solo home run that got the Wild Things tying the game at 1. Then 2 strikeouts to Jimmy Yezzo and Dave Popkins. A walk to Andrew Heck gave the Wild Things a runner at first with 2 outs. Then an RBI double by Grant Fink scored Heck and gave the Wild Things a 2-1 lead. Then after a walk to Eddie Sarando, John Cisnewski bounced the ball to first base, but first baseman Ben Waldrop had to turn his back to home plate, allowing Grant Fink to round third and score, making the score 3-1. Then after Jamal Austin Walk loaded the bases, Austin Wobrock got his first hit of the 2016 season, a 2 RBI single that made the score 5-1 Washington. Then, moving on, the Gateway Grizzlies got one of the runs back in the bottom of the fourth inning as Blake Brown hit his first home run of the 2016 season. But the Wild Things right back at it in the seventh, a leadoff single by Austin Wobrock. He stole his first base of the season. And then Brian Harr stepped up, hitting his second homer of the day, a 2-run shot to give the Wild Things a 7-2 lead at that point. The Grizzlies would bounce back again, getting a 2-run homer from Seth Heck in the bottom of the sixth. That made the score 5-4. And then the insurance run in the top of the ninth, Austin Wobrock hit a solo home run to give the Wild Things an 8-4 lead. Grizzlies again try to fight back against Andrew Wick with a 2-out walk and a 2-run homer by Tyler Toole. That's all they could get, and the final score, your Wild Things win 8-6. Your Washington Wild Things player of the game, Brian Harr, 2 home runs in the game, 3 for total in the series, drove in 3 runs on the day with his 2 home runs, both to left field. Brian Harr, your offensive star of the day. Chase Cunningham on the mound, not a bad outing, not a great outing. Went 5 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, and struck out 1 batter in his inning of work. And then the bullpen came in, and the bullpen was lights out. Zach Groats, 1 2/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, a walk, and a hit allowed. Devon Davis, 1 1/3 scoreless innings, and Andrew Wowick in his inning. He did give up 2 runs, both of those earned on 1 hit, but he didn't walk a batter, didn't strike anyone out, and finish the game out for the Wild Things. Thanks for listening to this edition of Washington Wild Things Baseball. Be sure to stay tuned. Next game is on Tuesday. Off day tomorrow. We'll be in Joliet, Illinois, when your Washington Wild Things take on the Joliet Slammers. First pitch for that one scheduled at 8:05 p.m. and can be heard right here on the MSA Sports Network. Your Washington Wild Things win this one. Final score of 8-6. Thanks for listening, everybody, and be sure to tune in next time for more Washington Wild Things Baseball.